Chapter 1940. Qin Yun is a little surprised. He did not expect Heavenly Lion King and Heavenly Dragon Shark King to know each other. Yang Shuriwa said, "Heavenly Dragon Shark King knows Heavenly Lion King. Could this guy be as strong as Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon back then?" "It should be. Heavenly Dragon Shark King definitely knows Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon." Qin Yun said, "It's strange. This guy should be very strong. Why was he sent to such a place?" Heavenly Lion King and Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon had their hearts sealed in Heaven Burial Mausoleum. Therefore, their cultivation was at most peak 9th tier Immortal Emperor. The reason why they were still strong here was because of their bodies. If they could take back their hearts, their strength would increase by leaps and bounds. Their hearts were the core source of their strength. For example, Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon's Dragon Ball had been extracted from his heart. Heavenly Dragon Shark King and Heavenly Lion King fought intensely. Their strength was on par. Heavenly Lion King was suddenly sent flying by Heavenly Dragon Shark King. He landed on the ground and rolled, breaking through several tall mountains. At this moment, Vigor God was also surrounded by a large group of heavenly guards. The heavenly guards' sabers or spears were all shining with golden light. They were wearing golden heavenly armor. More and more heavenly guards flew out from the lake. Moreover, there were several tens of great heavenly armor guards that were several meters tall. The weapons in their hands were huge golden axes. Vigor God's defense was very strong. After activating the Black Tortoise formation, the spears thrown by the heavenly guards were unable to pierce through the barrier outside Vigor God. The Mountain God controlled Vigor God and charged towards the nearest heavenly guards. Then, he extended his huge palm and grabbed those heavenly armor guards. When the huge palm reached out, it suddenly produced a very strong suction force. Those heavenly guards that wanted to escape were sucked in by the suction force and fell into Vigor God's huge palm. Vigor God grabbed a 2-meter-tall heavenly armor guard and squeezed it hard. After the heavenly armor guard's heavenly armor was stimulated, it burst out with waves of lightning. It also produced a very strong energy barrier, causing Vigor God to be unable to continue squeezing. Is Vigor God not strong enough? Qin Yun looked at Vigor God's palm that was surging with lightning. Heavenly armor is indeed powerful. If you can't make it lose its effectiveness, the defense it produces is still very strong. Yang Shuriwa said. "Sister Yang, stay here. I'll go out and help," Qin Yun said. "And just pay attention." Yang Shuryu nodded. Qin Yun left the heavenly leaping shuttle and used the light transformation sacred pupil to fly over. After concealing himself, he threw out a flying saber. The flying dagger was the armor-suppressing holy talisman weapon. The flying dagger hit the heavenly armor guard with the Hercules palm. The heavenly armor of the heavenly armor guardians suddenly lost its effect. Boom! Strength surged out of the Hercules arm. As he crushed the heavenly armor guard, a loud bang was heard. In Qin Yun's 9-Sun Divine Spirit, Zi Qingqing and Shui Tianzi could continuously refine suppression sacred talisman weapons. However, there were too many heavenly armor guards. Qin Yun only had 20 to 30 armor suppression holy talisman weapons in his possession. There was no way he could deal with thousands of heavenly armor guards. Hercules became huge and floated in the air. It was a huge target. The heavenly armor guards did not approach. Instead, they kept throwing their spears to consume the energy of the divine mountain. Qin Yun returned to the heaven leaping shuttle, shook his head and said, "Hercules is very strong, but he is still unable to break through the defense of the heavenly armor." After that, he communicated with the mountain god and asked him to temporarily retreat. If he continued to fight, he would consume a lot of energy and he wouldn't be able to kill many heavenly armor guards. After Hercules ran away, Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to approach and entered the inner space of the divine mountain. "Those heavenly armors are too powerful," the mountain god said. I used such a strong power, but I was still unable to crush it. Furthermore, my palm was attacked by a very strong lightning. The heavenly armor is that strong. That's why I told you to retreat. If we continue to waste time, we will be the ones to suffer. Qin Yun said. Xiao Hua said, Boss, why don't you tell us the runes of the armor suppression sacred talisman weapon? Let us modify it and let Hercules have a weapon that can restrain the heavenly armor. The main power that could restrain the heavenly armor was rather special. Either Qin Yun's absolute yang power combined with the nether moon, or the power of the sun and moon shine together, or the power of the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation. I can release the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation and give it a try, Qin Yun said. The power of the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation can suppress the heavenly armor to a certain extent, but the effect isn't too obvious. We need to use some runes to drill into the heavenly armor's loopholes to have a good effect. Let's give it a try, the mountain god said. Qin Yun released the nine-dragon rune heavenly sabers and activated the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation. After the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation was activated, the mountain god immediately absorbed the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation's power and once again charged towards the group of heavenly armor guards. After going over, he once again suffered a round of attacks and was crazily stabbed by those spears. Those spears are also very mysterious. They flew over and attacked Hercules' body, causing a burst of violent small explosions. The spears also disappeared because of this, but very soon, spears appeared in the hands of the heavenly armor guards again. Qin Yun guessed that there is a very strong power that can continuously condense a large number of spears and then transfer them to the heavenly armor guard. This time, Hercules grabbed a few meters tall great heavenly armor guard. After using the power of the nine-dragon divine universe to suppress it, the lightning that erupted from the heavenly armor was not as violent. However, it was still difficult to break through the defense of the heavenly armor. Hercules condensed a vast amount of energy and suddenly exploded. Boom! That great heavenly armor guard was finally crushed. Qin Yun, Xiao Hua and the others also let out a cheer. This won't do, the consumption is too great. There are so many of these things, it's impossible to kill them all. The mountain god said, killing one of these things won't yield much. The price was huge, but the rewards were small. Even if they could kill the great heavenly armor guard, it wouldn't mean much. The heavenly dragon Shark King and the heavenly lion king are fighting more and more fiercely in the other mountain range. From the looks of it, the heavenly lion king has the advantage because his bite force is very strong and he can bite out a very deep wound on the heavenly dragon Shark King's body. At this moment, the heavenly lion king's arm is being bitten by the heavenly lion king. Let's go and help the heavenly lion king, Qin Yun said. After all, this is the lair of the heavenly guards in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. It is very unrealistic to rely on the power of the inscription gate to destroy it. Qin Yun's main goal is to come here and cause trouble. He wants to let the heavenly law divine realm know that the strength of his inscription gate is not weak and let the heavenly law divine realm send more and stronger heavenly armor guards over. This is the agreement between Qin Yun and Yun Long. As long as he can do it, Yun Long can help him find a divine universe dragon pearl. Damn dog, let go of me. The heavenly dragon Shark King's arm is being bitten and he is swinging it with all his might. The heavenly lion king bit the heavenly dragon Shark King, its claws are constantly scratching, erupting with a fierce power. It is the heavenly lion fighting Dragon Claw. After Hercules went over, he threw out a very long dragon tendon and tied it around the heavenly dragon Shark King's legs, then wrapped it around the heavenly dragon Shark King's other arm. Roar! The heavenly lion king roared and bit off one of the heavenly dragon Shark King's arms. You bastards, you will die very miserably. The heavenly dragon Shark King roared in anger. His body has already been tied up and his arm has been bitten off and eaten by the heavenly lion king. When the other great heavenly armor guards rushed over, Hercules took out another thick dragon tendon and lashed it at the group of heavenly armor guards. The dragon tendon lashed out like a whip, like a crazy and ferocious wave. It struck towards the group of great heavenly armor guards. The great heavenly armor guards were hit by the dragon tendon and were sent flying. They were wearing heavenly armor, so they were not injured. The heavenly lion king suddenly bit the heavenly dragon shark king's thigh and used his claws to tear it, causing the heavenly dragon shark king to let out a series of angry roars. Just you wait! The heavenly dragon shark king's body suddenly turned into a large amount of water and broke free from the dragon tendon's bindings. Walala! A large amount of water rushed into the sky and seeped into many spatial cracks. The heavenly dragon shark king escaped back to the heavenly law divine realm. At the same time, a large number of heavenly armor guards suddenly came out from the spatial cracks. The majority of the heavenly armor guards that appeared this time were giant heavenly armor guards. Their bodies were more than 10 meters tall, and they held huge golden axes in their hands. Their bodies were filled with explosive power, and they looked very terrifying. On the heavenly law divine realm side, reinforcements were coming. It seemed like they were going to take down the divine inscription mountain and the heavenly lion king. A large number of giant heavenly armor guards and great heavenly armor guards came over. They were densely packed and covered the sky as they let out shouts. "Senior, come back quickly!" Qin Yun suddenly shouted. The heavenly lion king also realized how powerful the heavenly armor guard army was. He immediately returned to the interior of the divine inscription mountain. "Let's go!" Qin Yun shouted. The Hercules leaped and ran on the ground because the sky was filled with heavenly armor guards. While the Hercules was running, a large number of golden spears fell from the sky like a rainstorm, chasing after the Hercules and stabbing him. Boom! 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 Everywhere the Hercules passed by, a large number of spears pierced him and then exploded. It was as if the ground was being plowed by wave after wave of exploding spears. That bastard heavenly dragon shark king could have run long ago, but he felt that it was embarrassing, so he persisted with me. The heavenly lion king laughed and said, "If he had run earlier, I wouldn't have eaten an arm." The heavenly lion king heavily injured the heavenly dragon shark king, and was in an extremely good mood. The mountain god, however, was not in such a good mood because there were still many giant heavenly armor guards chasing after him. Those giant heavenly armor guards were very big, and they were like locusts chasing after him. Qin Yun and company were inside the divine inscription mountain and could see the situation outside. When they saw a large number of huge heavenly armor guards covering the sky, they were all astonished. The heavenly law divine domain is truly terrifying. Xiao Yuemei exclaimed. "Big Sister Yang, let's go out and put the divine inscription mountain into the heaven leaping shuttle. We'll teleport through space and leave." As Qin Yun spoke, he pulled Yang Shuriwei and entered the heaven leaping shuttle. After the heaven leaping shuttle flew out, it immediately teleported the Hercules to the warehouse. "Let's go!" Yang Shuriwei controlled the heaven leaping shuttle to teleport through space, distancing herself from the heavenly armor guard army. After distancing themselves from the heavenly armor guard, the mountain god heaved a sigh of relief. Qin Yun also controlled the heaven leaping shuttle and released the divine inscription mountain. "You guys go to the heaven suppressing sect, I'm going to heaven creation city." Qin Yun greeted Xiao Hua and company before controlling the heaven leaping shuttle to fly away. "Xiao Yun, it's time to contact Yunlong, right?" Yang Shuriwei said. "The heavenly law divine domain has sent a lot of huge heavenly armor guards. The agreement has been reached." Chapter 1941. Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei are inside the heaven leaping shuttle. Through Princess Anye's soul-chasing talisman, they can determine that Heaven City is still a distance away from them. After the space of the Cloud Dragon mountain range was opened, the two moon elves did not consume too much energy to use the space Xian'an. "I'm going to start the spatial travel." Yang Shuriwe said, and took over the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun nodded and said, "Let's begin." Yang Shuriwe closed her eyes and controlled the moon elves to release energy to cooperate with the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation and inject a very strong energy into the heaven-leaping shuttle. After the heaven-leaping shuttle absorbed the power of the moon elves, under Yang Shuriwe's control, it shuttled towards the direction of Heaven City. In the blink of an eye, the spatial travel was completed. After arriving at this area, Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwe could see that the ground in front of them was filled with grassland and many small flowers. After entering this area, Qin Yun felt that it was somewhat different. "Let's go out and take a look," Qin Yun said before he and Yang Shuriwe arrived outside the heaven-leaping shuttle. The heaven-leaping shuttle floated in the air. Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwe stood on the heaven-leaping shuttle and looked at the grassland on the ground. "Is this the buried heaven land?" Qin Yun looked around and said, "What exactly is going on with this place?" At this moment, a white cloud suddenly floated over from the sky. After the white cloud floated over, it churned for a moment and turned into a cloud dragon. "Yun Long is here. Senior, is this place the buried heaven land?" Qin Yun asked. "Yes, this is a very strange place. The buried heaven land was originally in a space, but after the sacrifice, this space overlapped with the Cloud Dragon mountain range," Yun Long said. "In that case, is this place considered to be in the Cloud Dragon mountain range?" Yang Shuriwe asked. "It's here for now, but this space can be closed. Once it is closed, it will no longer be connected to the Cloud Dragon mountain range," Yun Long said. "Why do I have a very strange feeling? What's going on?" Qin Yun asked curiously. "This place is the buried heaven land. All kinds of buried heaven mausoleums are inside," Yun Long said with a smile. "Those buried heaven mausoleums have sealed all kinds of powerful creatures or souls. After being sealed for so long, they are naturally filled with resentment." Qin Yun said with a frown, "The strange feeling I feel, are they all formed by the resentment?" He used the absolute spirit eye to test it out, but he did not see any other strange energy. "Of course it's not resentment. The resentment and energy here have all been suppressed. The strange feeling you have is caused by suppressing the and resentment chi." Yun Long chuckled. "If you feel uncomfortable, then it means that you have resentment in your body that needs to be suppressed." Qin Yun was secretly alarmed because deep in his heart, there was indeed an extremely evil and brutal side to him. There were a few times when he was almost swallowed by the evil, but fortunately, he was able to avert danger every time. Hearing Yun Long's words, he suddenly felt that there was something in his body that needed to be suppressed and purified. This buried heaven land has sealed and buried all sorts of powerful creatures. It's truly rare to not sense a trace of ruthless aura in here. Yang Shuryu said. "Isn't that so?" Yun Long laughed. "Of course, the most amazing thing about buried heavenland is that it's very hard to destroy." Qin Yun looked at his surroundings and said, "Very difficult to destroy? What does that mean?" Yun Long said, "Firstly, the space where the buried heavenland is located can't be destroyed. Secondly, everything inside it can't be destroyed. If you don't believe me, just attack below and you'll know." Qin Yun looked at the grassland below him and punched out, producing a very powerful lightning flame. When the powerful fist force landed on the grassland, it suddenly turned into a gentle breeze and dissipated in all directions. The flowers and plants were only blown a little, they were not destroyed at all. Qin Yun was alarmed. Although his punch was not the strongest, it was not weak either. It was actually unable to destroy the flowers and plants here. Yang Shuryu said in surprise, "Doesn't that mean that it would be very difficult to break through the various mausoleums here?" "So, I know which mausoleum has the dragon pearl, but I can't take it out," Yun Long said. "The Heavenly Law Divine Realm has sent many more heavenly armor guards over and they are all very big ones. Senior, you should be very satisfied, right?" Qin Yun chuckled. "Not bad." Yun Long smiled and said, I'll guide you to find the dragon pearl now. As he spoke, Yun Long's eyes shot out 2 rays of white light towards Qin Yun's eyes, allowing him to know where the mausoleum was. In just an instant, Qin Yun knew where the mausoleum was. It was not very far from where they were. Qin Yun, the place we are in looks very calm, but the buried Heavenland is actually very dangerous. Yun Long said, whether or not you can obtain that dragon pearl will depend on you. Danger? What danger? Qin Yun looked around and said, I can't see anything. There are all kinds of killing formations in the buried Heavenland. In addition, there are all kinds of heavenly puppets or heavenly puppet beasts guarding the mausoleum. As long as you get close to those mausoleums, you might encounter this kind of thing. Yun Long said, I'm not trying to scare you, so you must remember, you must be small. Heart. I will remember. Qin Yun nodded. Senior, have you heard of the Ling Tian clan? Yang Shiyu asked. I've heard of it. Yun Long's voice suddenly became deeper. It was obvious that he was extremely sensitive or vigilant towards the Ling Tian clan. What kind of race is this? Qin Yun and Yang Shiyu looked at each other and asked. Very powerful. So powerful that it almost destroyed the order of the heavenly Tao. That's why it was sealed. Back then, the Ling Tian clan was an existence that existed even earlier than the 9 Sons royal family. Yun Long said in a deep voice, How do you know about the Ling Tian clan? Is the Ling Tian clan sealed here? Qin Yun said, If we release them, what will the consequences be? I don't know what the consequences will be. In short, it will definitely cause chaos in the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Yun Long said, Of course it won't affect me. Yang Shiyu asked, How did the Ling Tian clan destroy the order of the heavenly Tao? Yun Long shook his head. I don't know. In short, the people from the Ling Tian clan are very strong. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been sealed here. If they weren't strong, they would have most likely been exterminated. Will the Ling Tian clan really have no effect on the Cloud Dragon mountain range? Qin Yun was somewhat worried. After all, it was a very strong clan. If the Ling Tian clan really comes out, their greatest enemy will definitely be the heavenly guards of the heavenly law divine realm. Back then, the Ling Tian clan fought with these guys. Yun Long laughed. They are fighting and killing in the Cloud Dragon mountain range. After they die, their energy will be absorbed by me. Of course it won't affect me. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, The Ling Tian clan will destroy the order of the heavenly Tao. You are the heavens of the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Aren't you afraid that they will destroy you? I am only the ruler of this Cloud Dragon heavenly region, and the source of my energy is still that mysterious and ethereal heavenly Tao. The heavenly Tao that the Ling Tian clan is targeting is that mysterious and ethereal heavenly Tao. They will not find me. Yun Long chuckled. Yun Long's body began to dissipate. After disappearing, Qin Yun and Yang Shiyu returned to the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Big Sister Yang, let's go to that mausoleum first. Qin Yun said, Heaven Creation City is so big and it's not weak either. If they release the Ling Tian clan, nothing will happen to them. Yang Shiyu nodded and said, We have to be careful when we go find the Dragon Pearl. Yun Long said that it's very dangerous inside. He's definitely not trying to scare us. Qin Yun controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and carefully flew through the air towards the mausoleum that hid the Divine Universe Dragon Pearl. In the message that Yun Long sent to Qin Yun, the mausoleum was a small hill. It was not a huge tomb palace or tomb city. If it was just a small hill, Qin Yun felt that there was nothing to be afraid of. If it was a large tomb city or tomb palace, it would be extremely dangerous to enter. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle flew for more than half a day. What surprised Qin Yun and Yang Shiyu was that after such a long time, the position of the 3 suns in the sky did not change at all. The sun hasn't moved, what's going on? Qin Yun said in alarm. Could it be that there's no night here? Yang Shiyu looked at the sky and said, Let's go out and take a look and feel the energy of the sunlight. Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu arrived outside the heaven-leaping shuttle. They very seriously felt the power of the sun between heaven and earth. A moment later, Qin Yun said in shock, "What's going on?" Yang Shiryu was also very surprised. "Xiao Yun, I can feel 8 types of very strong sun power. This is something that can only be felt when the 9 suns are complete. She already has 8 sun immortal veins, so she can feel 8 types of sun power. Through the 9 sun divine spirit, Qin Yun can absorb 9 types of very strong sun power. Moreover, they are the kind that lean towards sacred power. There are only 3 suns left. Logically speaking, there should only be 3 types of very strong sun power. The other 6 types are relatively weak. They are the residual heat of the 6 suns that fell." "How strange," Qin Yun said with a frown. "This place is filled with 9 types of very strong sun sacred power. It's as if the 9 suns are at their peak. The 3 suns we saw should be illusions." Yang Shiryu said, "There must be a large amount of powerful 9 sun sacred power stored inside the heaven burial tomb. Looks like this is truly a strange space." Qin Yun exclaimed. "Xiao Yun, let's quickly take the Divine Universe Dragon Pearl and leave this place." Yang Shiryu said, "I'm afraid of being trapped here." Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu returned to the heaven-leaping shuttle. Their expressions are rather grave. This was because this buried heavenland was truly incredible. Although they had yet to encounter those powerful things, they knew that in this kind of environment, many powerful things could definitely be nurtured. "I wonder how strong the heaven puppets and heaven puppets that Yun Long mentioned are?" Qin Yun is somewhat worried about encountering these 2 things. "Let's hurry up and find that tomb," Yang Shiryu urged. Just as Qin Yun was about to control the heaven-leaping shuttle to move forward, he discovered that a small hill had appeared 1,000 meters in front of them. Chapter 1942. Qin Yun only knows one direction. He only knows what the mausoleum looks like. As for how far it is, he is not very clear. Just now, he and Yang Shiryu went out for a while and observed the surroundings. However, they did not see that small hill. But now, that small hill suddenly appeared in front of them. This is truly too horrifying. "Big Sister Yang, are my eyes playing tricks on me?" Qin Yun looked at the small hill in front of him and said, "Did you see that?" Yang Shiryu said with frown, "Your eyes are not playing tricks on you, I also saw it. That small hill can be said to be neither big nor small. It suddenly appeared in front of them without any sound. It is truly frightening. Furthermore, that small hill is a mausoleum. Could it be that all the mausoleums in buried heavenland can run around?" Qin Yun said in shock, "Isn't this too scary? Even if it can run around, it won't be so coincidental that it will appear in front of us when we want to look for it." Yang Shiryu said, "Xiao Yun, get something to investigate. It's best if we don't go there ourselves." Qin Yun let Long Tianji come out. Long Tianji released many small lightning dragons. Hundreds of small lightning dragons rushed towards the small hill. Then, with the small hill as the center, they spread out in all directions to investigate whether or not there are any traps in the vicinity of the small hill. Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu are inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. They can clearly see that after the small lightning dragons went over, they did not trigger any bewildering formation or trap formation. Moreover, that small hill is also real because when the small lightning dragons attacked that small hill, they created quite a bit of commotion. "It seems like nothing powerful has appeared?" Qin Yun looked around and said, "Didn't Yunlong say that there will be heaven puppets or heaven puppet beasts?" Hundreds of small lightning dragons flew out and searched a large area around the small hill. However, they didn't find anything. Yang Shiryu shook her head and said, "This mausoleum suddenly appeared. It is so strange. If there is no danger, I don't believe it. Could it be that the small lightning dragons can't find anything when they go over?" Qin Yun said with frown, Can we only go over by ourselves? Xiao Yun, do you have any puppets? Yang Shiryu asked. It's best if they have flesh and blood. In the past, Qin Yun had captured some wraiths and heavenly monsters that had turned into humans. Some of them were tortured to death, while others were frozen for research. He took out an evil spirit and said, "This guy's soul is gone, but I can control it." Qin Yun took out the Gemini treasure mirror and imprinted a set of totems on the head of the evil ghost. This way, he can easily control the evil ghost. The monster looked like a middle-aged man. After being controlled by Qin Yun, he immediately sat up. Yang Shiryu injected some power into the evil ghost and heavenly monster's body and said, "I want this guy to look like he's full of life." "Big Sister Yang, you are very meticulous," Qin Yun said. "The evil ghosts and heavenly monsters he released have been frozen, they look like corpses." After Yang Shiryu injected her power into the evil ghosts and heavenly monsters, the evil ghosts and heavenly monsters seemed to come to life. Their eyes were bright and their bodies were full of life. "Enough," Yang Shiryu said. Qin Yun controlled the evil ghost and heavenly monster to leave the heaven-leaping shuttle. They landed on the grassland and then walked towards the small hill. Long Tianji said, "My small lightning dragon is condensed from energy, it doesn't have any signs of life, so it can't cause any commotion?" Yang Shiryu nodded and said, "Indeed. If we want to find out about the killing formation or lure out other things, we must use living beings. Moreover, their life aura must be vigorous enough. Quickly look. There is movement." Qin Yun looked at the grassland below from inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. Under his control, the evil ghost and heavenly monster slowly walked on the grassland. After the evil ghost and heavenly monster approached the small hill, the grassland within several hundred meters of the small hill suddenly turned black. This kind of black color is very evil. However, Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu did not sense any evil aura on the heaven-leaping shuttle. Yang Shiryu said, "The entire small hill is inside a barrier. That evil power has not rushed out because it has been sealed by the barrier. A very strange barrier. The small lightning dragon can enter and exit as it pleases, but the evil power cannot come out?" Qin Yun said in amazement. "There is evil power inside the evil ghost and heavenly monster's body. After entering, it won't be easy to come out," Yang Shiryu said. Qin Yun suddenly became worried because there might be evil power hidden inside the evil ghost and heavenly monster's body. He is worried that after entering, he won't be able to come out. After entering the barrier, the evil ghost and heavenly monster can no longer come out, they are blocked by the barrier. What is even more frightening is that as the evil ghost and heavenly monster stepped on the pitch-black grassland, their bodies suddenly began to shrink bit by bit. The power of the evil ghost and heavenly monster is being devoured. The flowers and grass around the small hill have now turned black and are crazily dancing, as if they are in a carnival. It looks very evil and scary. Furthermore, the dragon head statue on the top of the small hill, the dragon eyes have also turned red. The entire dragon head looks like it is grinning sinisterly, it looks very creepy. The evil ghost and heavenly monster did not even get close to the small hill and fell to the ground. Only dried up skin and bones remain, their vitality has been completely devoured. At this time, the flowers and grass also quickly wrapped around the evil ghost and heavenly monster and started devouring their body. It is indeed very dangerous. Yang Shiryu shook her head. "Xiao Yun, the things sealed in the buried heavenland are very powerful. The dragon pearl is sealed in the small hill, it can devour the outside world even through the small hill. Fortunately, the entire small hill is inside a strange barrier. It seems like we just happened to be near this tomb, but this tomb suddenly hid itself and wants to attack us?" Qin Yun said in horror. "If we didn't know and continued forward, we might have stepped into a trap." Previously, because they saw that the position of the three suns did not move, they came out to take a look and did not continue forward. Have you thought of a way to enter the tomb? No wonder Yun Long said that it is very difficult to obtain the things inside. Yang Shiryu asked. In the buried heavenland there must be many such tombs. The things sealed inside are either living beings or other things. Even if it is a weapon, after such a long time, the weapon spirit will certainly give birth to a spirit and its own consciousness. If there is enough energy, it might even be able to cultivate a fleshly body. Qin Yun has read about it in some ancient books. After some powerful weapons are lost, they can cultivate into a human. I wonder what kind of dragon that divine universe dragon pearl belongs to. Qin Yun said, It is so evil, it looks even more frightening than the divine universe evil dragon's dragon pearl. Qin Yun has the Divine Universe Evil Dragon's Dragon Pearl, and the Divine Universe Evil Dragon is already very evil. There is actually a dragon that is even more evil than the Divine Universe Evil Dragon. That's why the Dragon Pearl is sealed here. It seems like that Dragon Pearl is very difficult to destroy. Yang Shiryu said. Qin Yun is also thinking of a way to pass through the barrier and enter safely. It shouldn't be difficult to pass through the barrier. Qin Yun said, I just don't know what other powerful things are inside. Yang Shiryu took out a Divine Universe sword, tied up her beautiful black hair, and changed into a light blue armor. She said, Xiao Yun, we are going to take the risk. Qin Yun took out Lu Shuangji's heavenly armor and handed it to Yang Shiryu. He said, Big sister Yang, you wear this. You wear it. Yang Shiryu shook her head. I'm fine. Qin Yun spoke and pulled off the blue armor on Yang Shiryu's body. Yang Shiryu had no other choice. She smiled sweetly and took off the light blue armor on her body. She is only wearing thin underwear inside. Of course, those clothes are engraved with runes and have the effect of healing and recovery. After Yang Shiryu changed into the golden heavenly armor, Qin Yun felt a lot more at ease. In terms of defense, Qin Yun is not afraid. After all, he has absorbed the Divine Universe purple energy to cultivate, and he also has the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. They left the heaven-leaping shuttle and put it away. Then, they walked towards the small hill. The flowers and plants within a radius of several hundred meters of the small hill are still black. When Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu stepped into the black area, it was equivalent to entering the barrier. After they entered, they immediately exited the barrier and confirmed that they could come out. Only then did they feel relieved and continue moving forward. After they walked for dozens of meters, they suddenly sensed a very strong power surging out from the ground, sucking their bodies in. A large number of black flowers and plants suddenly became very large and malevolent, wrapping around Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu's legs. Qin Yun let out a muffled groan. Through the absolute Yang power, he activated the overwhelming righteous martial spirit and released a very powerful overwhelming righteous energy. A white energy wave surged and immediately ignited all the black flowers and plants in the surroundings, igniting them with pure white flames. And the devouring power that surged up also immediately retracted. Let's continue walking. Yang Shiryu said. She tightly gripped the Divine Universe sword in her hand. They walked towards the small hill and looked at the dragon head stone sculpture at the top. The dragon head stone sculpture's red eyes suddenly shot out 2 beams of light. Yang Shiryu immediately waved the Divine Universe sword in her hand and released a very strong energy wave, scattering the 2 beams of light. Xiao Yun, use the cannon to blast that dragon head. Yang Shiryu lightly shouted. Qin Yun took out the 9 heavens dragon lion cannon and fired at the dragon head stone sculpture at the top of the small hill. The energy condensed by the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation turned into a ball of light and shot out from the 9 heavens dragon lion cannon, hitting the dragon head stone sculpture. Bang! After the dragon head stone sculpture was hit, it was enveloped by the 9 colored light and let out a trembling sound. The 9 colored light disappeared and the dragon head stone sculpture is unexpectedly undamaged. The power of the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation? The dragon head stone sculpture actually spoke. It laughed sinisterly and said, "Great, great! I will be able to see the light of day again soon, ha ha ha." Chapter 1943. Hearing the words, Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon, Qin Yun and Yang Shuyue looked at each other in amazement. It sounds like it is a powerful existence on par with Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon. What is your relationship with Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon? Qin Yun asked. He is my brother. You bastard, you are dead for sure. Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon shouted. Qin Yun took out the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon and shot at the black dragon head sculpture again. The power this time is even stronger than before. It even let out a burst of ferocious lion roar. After the black dragon head sculpture was hit, Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon suddenly roared. The small hill slightly trembled, as if something is about to come out from inside. The dragon head sculpture is very hard. It is impossible to break it. It is also unknown what kind of material it is made from. Yang Shuyue suddenly released a purple moon. The beautiful purple moon shot out rainbow energy in all directions, creating wave after wave of glowing energy. It condensed into purple lightning and attacked the dragon head sculpture. Ah! Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon immediately let out a painful cry. Yang Shuyue's attack just now was a very strong mental attack. After the Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon suffered that golden attack, it is clearly in incomparable pain. This guy doesn't have a body, only a soul. Xiao Yun, we don't need to be afraid of him. Yang Shuyue said. Yang Shuyue said, let's continue forward. This guy's soul and dragon pearl are sealed inside. He can only use his evil consciousness to corrupt the energy outside. This kind of power can't harm us. Damned woman, I will eat you! Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon shouted. A black energy suddenly emerged from the ground and rushed towards Yang Shuyue. Qin Yun's body released overwhelming righteous power to purify the black gas rushing towards him. Then he continued forward. Soon, they arrived beside the small hill. The dragon pearl is inside. How to get in is a problem. How can we get in? If we break it and that guy's soul comes out, it should be very strong, right? Qin Yun circled around the small hill to see if there is an entrance or something. Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon's black dragon head sculpture on top of the small hill looks very scary. Moreover, it is constantly roaring, but it can't do anything to Qin Yun and Yang Shuyue. This Divine Universe Devil Dragon shouldn't be very strong. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been sealed in such a small hill. Yang Shuyue said. Woman with long hair and short knowledge, don't look down on me. Back then, I, Divine Universe Demon Dragon, was the strongest Tian Fa divine beast created by the Heavenly Tao. Divine Universe Demon Dragon was my little brother. When he saw me, he had to kneel down and call me Big Brother Demon Dragon. Divine Universe Demon Dragon shouted angrily. The Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon claimed to be a very powerful Tian Fa divine beast. This Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon was indeed closely related to the Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon. You're stronger than the Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon? Why was it sealed here? Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon is not sealed. Qin Yun said with smile. Bullshit. The Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon's heart and dragon pearl have both been sealed. Only his tattered body and soul managed to escape, but he was still sealed by the 9 Sons royal family. The Divine Universe Demon Dragon snorted. Then tell me, how can I save you? Yang Shuyue asked. With your strength, you can't release me at all. Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon sneered. You want my dragon pearl, right? Dream on. Yang Shuyue said, Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon, if we get you out, do you think we have enough strength to take away your dragon pearl? Of course not. If you really release my dragon pearl, the ones who will die will be you. Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon laughed loudly and said, I will devour that brat, occupy his body and then eat you. Ha ha ha, Yang Shuyue said with sneer. Then quickly tell us how to open this mausoleum. Only then can we release you and let you eat us. There's no harm in telling you. If you can really release me, that would be for the best. Before I eat you, I will properly thank you. Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon said, "Find a square groove on this small hill, that is the key to open the mausoleum." Yang Shiryu and Qin Yun immediately split up. After a while, Yang Shiryu suddenly shouted, "Xiao Yun, I found it, quickly come over and take a look." Qin Yun immediately flew over to Yang Shiryu's side. Yang Shiryu pointed to a stone wall on the small hill. "There is indeed a square groove the size of a palm. How can we open it?" Yang Shiryu said, "Is there a way?" When Qin Yun saw the groove, he immediately thought of his Divine King Heavenly Seal. It was previously called the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal, but after fusing with his Divine King deity position, it became the Divine King Heavenly Seal. You two idiots, so what if you found it? You need a Heavenly Seal to open the mausoleum. Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon laughed loudly and said, "You two hopelessly weak fellows, do you think you can take away my Dragon Pearl just because you know I'm here? Truly an extremely foolish creature." When Qin Yun heard the two words, Heavenly Seal, he became even more certain that his Divine King Heavenly Seal could open the mausoleum. Previously, Siekiru told him to find the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal, saying that it was the key to entering the immortal graveyard. He only thought that the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal could only allow him to take away the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Later on, the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal transformed into the Divine King Heavenly Seal. Only now did he realize how useful the Divine King Heavenly Seal was. Qin Yun immediately took out his Divine King Heavenly Seal. His heart is filled with doubt. Why is this Heavenly Seal that can open the mausoleum in his hands? Furthermore, it can fuse with the Divine King deity position. Just as Qin Yun was about to open it, Yang Shiryu immediately grabbed his wrist and said in a deep voice, "First set up the formation, then release the cauldron." Yang Shiryu knew that the Divine King Heavenly Seal in Qin Yun's hand was formed from the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal. In her previous life, she was with Qin Yun and understood how powerful the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal was. She and Qin Yun are equally puzzled. Why would Qin Yun have such a thing? Qin Yun was almost careless. He immediately released the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation and surrounded the small hill. Then, he took out the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron and floated it in the air. This way, he could suppress the Dragon Pearl at any time. When he saw the square groove, he was astonished and took out the Divine King Heavenly Seal to seal it. He almost forgot to set up the formation. If he did not set up the formation, it would be troublesome if the Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon's Dragon Pearl and soul ran out. After finishing her preparations, Yang Shiryu nodded at Qin Yun and said, "Let's begin. The Divine King Heavenly Seal can now become big and small." Qin Yun controlled the Divine King Heavenly Seal to fit the palm-sized square groove and then pressed the seal into the groove. The groove looks very shallow, but after the Divine King Heavenly Seal is pressed in, it can be pressed very deep. "Ah, you, how can you have the Heavenly Seal?" The Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon suddenly cried out in alarm. His voice is filled with fear. After Qin Yun pressed the Divine King Heavenly Seal in, the entire small hill suddenly trembled. He quickly rotated the Divine King Heavenly Seal, issuing ka-ka-ka sounds as if he has opened some mechanism. After rotating it once, Qin Yun took out the Divine King Heavenly Seal and then quickly arrived outside the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation with Yang Shiryu. The small hill suddenly turned golden and then burned with golden flames. The small hill disappeared and turned into a ball of fire. Inside the golden ball of fire, there is a large black bead. It is more than a meter tall. "Who are you? Who are you?" The Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon shouted and controlled the Dragon Pearl to crazily charge. With the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, The divine cosmic demon dragon is unable to break out. Then who do you think I am? Qin Yun also wants to know who the person controlling the heavenly seal is. I don't know. I don't know. The divine cosmic demon dragon shouted. Although there is the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, the divine cosmic demon dragon's dragon pearl is very terrifying. When it collided with the barrier, it produced a series of rumbling sounds and waves of the divine cosmic demon dragon's aura surged out. Let's go in and talk. Qin Yun controlled the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron to seal the dragon pearl inside. The surroundings quickly quietened down. The golden flames disappeared, and the originally black grassland also returned to its original appearance. The small hill that sealed the divine cosmic demon dragon pearl disappeared. It is as if the small hill never existed. Everything is very calm, as if nothing had happened. Could it be that the heavenly seal is the key to open these heavenly mausoleums? Yang Shuriwa said with a frown. I don't know, let's leave this place first. Qin Yun shook his head, released the heaven-leaping shuttle and said, To Heaven Creation City. Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwa entered the heaven-leaping shuttle and flew in the sky. Princess Anya wants to release the Lingtian clan. How is she going to open the Tomb City? Yang Shuriwa asked curiously. I wonder if she succeeded? I don't know. Princess Anya is also the Heaven Creation Palace Master. She must have her own way. Qin Yun said. I always feel that this buried Heavenland has a lot to do with the Heaven Creation God Palace back then. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew at high speed in the sky. Qin Yun pinched Princess Anya's soul-chasing talisman and could feel the distance between them getting closer and closer. It should be night now, but the 3 suns here are always in the same position. Yang Shuriwa looked at the sky and said, They have already been flying for 4 hours. The sun still hasn't moved. Princess Anya should be nearby. Qin Yun suddenly stopped the heaven-leaping shuttle and controlled it to rotate to check the surroundings. Below them is a lush green plain, occasionally decorated with colorful flowers. It looks very calm and peaceful. Yang Shuriwa said, I don't see anything. Could it be that she is hiding? That small hill from before is the same. Could it be that I can only see it when I get close? Qin Yun said with a frown, then controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to land. Just as the heaven-leaping shuttle landed, Yang Shuriwa lightly shouted, Look up! Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwa looked up at the sky and saw a dazzling golden behemoth suddenly appear. It is the Heaven Creation City floating in the sky. Strange, why didn't I see it just now? Qin Yun immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to fly into the sky. However, after approaching, the Heaven Creation City suddenly disappeared. Helpless, Qin Yun could only let the heaven-leaping shuttle land again. This time, just as the heaven-leaping shuttle landed, the Heaven Creation City in the sky suddenly fell down. The huge Heaven Creation City suddenly fell down. The impact is very terrifying. Chapter 1944. Under Yang Shuriwa's timely control, the heaven-leaping shuttle teleported away. The Heaven City suddenly fell down and fiercely hit the ground, causing the earth to shake violently. The sound and aura are very shocking. Qin Yun's heart still has lingering fear. He looked at the Heaven City in the distance and said in shock, What's going on? Did something happen to the Heaven City? When the Heaven City fell, it also released a very strong barrier to protect the entire Heaven City. Even if it fell from the sky, it did not shatter. I don't know. Yang Shuriwa's expression is solemn. She shook her head. The Heaven City suddenly became like this. Something must have happened. Let's go take a look. When the heaven-leaping shuttle flew over, the Heaven City suddenly floated up and slowly rose into the sky. Let's hurry up and catch up. Qin Yun shouted. The heaven-leaping shuttle is now controlled by Yang Shuriwa because she can make it teleport, which will be safer. Yang Shuriwa controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and quickly flew over. In an instant, she arrived in the sky above the Heaven City. After arriving in the sky above the heaven city, they could see that there are many people in the city. Let's go directly to the heaven creation god palace, Qin Yun said. All right. Yang Shuyue quickly flew to the sky above the heaven creation god palace. In the sky above the heaven creation god palace, Qin Yun saw a person wearing a black robe and a mask. It is Princess Anya. Princess Anya is floating above a palace in the heaven creation god palace, looking at the sky. Princess! Qin Yun immediately shouted. After Princess Anya used the space leaping shuttle, she quickly controlled a hole in the barrier to let the heaven leaping shuttle in. Yang Shuyue immediately controlled the heaven leaping shuttle and arrived beside Princess Anya. After Princess Anya let the heaven leaping shuttle in, she immediately closed the hole. What's going on? Yang Shuyue quickly sent Princess Anya in and asked. The heaven city is being controlled by a very strong power. We can't control the movement of the heaven city, Princess Anya said anxiously. If this continues, we can only give up on the heaven city. Qin Yun said. The heaven city is rising. How high is it going to fly? There is a barrier in the sky above the heaven burial land. If you touch that barrier, you will be fiercely attacked by a force and then violently fall to the ground. Princess Anya said. Just now was the second time. Yang Shuyue looked up into the sky and saw that it was pitch black. There was indeed a barrier in the sky above the buried heavenland. Furthermore, it was a pitch-black sphere that enveloped the entire buried heavenland. How could this be? Yang Shuyue asked. Didn't you go to save the Ling Tian clan? Where are the people from the Ling Tian clan? We did indeed help Ling Tian City remove the seal. Their Ling Tian flying city has already flown away. We were originally following behind Ling Tian flying city, but we were suddenly controlled by a power. Princess Yi said, I am using all my strength to control the 9 dragons' heaven origin formation to resist that power. All of a sudden, the heaven creation city rose rapidly. It was still very slow before, but now it suddenly accelerated. It was obvious that it wanted to make Heaven City fall. There was a force that wanted to destroy Heaven City. I suspect that it is the enchantment in the Heaven Burial Mausoleum that is causing trouble. Originally, they wanted to deal with the Lingtian flying city like this, but they locked onto our Heaven Creation City. Princess Yi sighed. Looks like we can only give up on Heaven Creation City. Qin Yun said. Maybe not, I will go out and take a look. Be careful, Princess Yi warned. If it really doesn't work, quickly tell me, I will let the people of Heaven Creation City leave quickly. After Yang Shuyue sent Princess Yi out, she controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to fly high in the sky. Qin Yun came outside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and sensed the power controlling Heaven City. Not long after, he sensed that it is 9 very strong sun power. This power is very strong and it is all sun divine power. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, you'd better use the 9 dragons' heaven origin formation and cooperate with the nether sun to devour this power. Why do I have to devour this power? Qin Yun asked. Because only the nether sun can disturb these 9 sun divine power. It is the easiest to disturb when devouring. Ling Yuner said, As long as you disturb this power, Heaven City will be able to get rid of the control. Alright, I will do it now. Qin Yun returned to the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. He let Yang Shuyue control the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to the bottom of Heaven City. The 9 strands of very strong sun god power were very strange. They rose from the ground and pushed the Heaven City upward. After Qin Yun arrived at the bottom, he ran outside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle again and absorbed and devoured the 9 sun divine power. In the process of absorption, the 9 sun divine spirit played a great role. The 9 sun divine power frantically rushed into the 9 sun divine spirit, causing Qin Yun's entire body to be wrapped in a 9-colored light ball. Qin Yun, who is inside the light ball, also felt very stuffy. After all, it is 9 sun divine power gathered together. In the process of Qin Yun frantically devouring, Heaven City suddenly stopped rising and flew away in one direction. Success! Ling Yuner shouted. Heaven City is fine, it is safe. However, Qin Yun's 9 Sun Divine Spirit is still absorbing the 9 Sun Divine Power. Not good, now it is my turn to be trapped. Qin Yun shouted in alarm. Yuner, is there any way to get rid of it? Don't be afraid, continue absorbing. Ling Yuner said, the 9 Sun Divine Power here is very strange. The 9 Sun Divine Spirit seems to like it very much. It doesn't matter if you absorb more. The 9 Pearl Bracelet appeared on Qin Yun's wrist. The 9 Sun Divine Spirit was originally 9 black pearls, but now they have turned white and are still shining. The 9 Sun Divine Spirit absorbed a lot of 9-colored Sun Divine Power. Qin Yun can feel wave after wave of Sun Divine Power rushing over. In just a moment, Qin Yun, who is floating in the air, is in a huge 9-colored whirlpool. In the middle of the whirlpool, Qin Yun is drawing a large amount of Sun Divine Power into the 9 Sun Divine Spirit. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle is not far away. Yang Shiryu is also very worried inside the shuttle. She quickly shouted, Xiao Yun, what's wrong with you? I'm fine for the time being. Qin Yun said, don't worry. Qin Yun only knows that his 9 Sun Divine Spirit likes the 9 kinds of Sun Divine Power here very much and is frantically devouring them. Not long after, Princess Anya suddenly flew over. Heaven City is already safe, so she came to take a look. Qin Yun, how are you now? When Princess Anya came over, she saw a huge 9-colored whirlpool wrapping around Qin Yun. In the middle of the whirlpool is a 9-colored light ball. She can't see Qin Yun at all, but she can sense him inside. I'm fine for the time being. Wait for me in the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, Qin Yun said. Although Qin Yun said that he is fine, Yang Shiryu and Princess Anya are extremely worried. After Princess Anya entered the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, she looked at the huge 9-colored light vortex and said with self-blame, if I had known earlier, I wouldn't have saved Ling Tian City. I have caused Qin Yun a lot of trouble. Xiao Yun will be fine. Yang Shiryu walked over, held Princess Anya's hand and said softly. Although she said that, she is very worried about Qin Yun. Princess Anya shook her head and said, that power can trap the entire Heaven City. It was Qin Yun who let Heaven City escape. They definitely won't let Qin Yun go. We have to do something. Just as Princess Anya was about to go out, a white mist suddenly floated over. Yang Shiryu shouted in pleasant surprise, Cloud Dragon is here. After the white cloud came over, it turned into a huge white cloud dragon. The huge white cloud dragon also began to revolve around the huge 9-colored whirlpool. Senior, will Xiao Yun be alright? Yang Shiryu shouted. Nothing will happen, don't worry too much. Moreover, this might be a good thing for him. Yun Long can also see that Qin Yun has a very strong thing on his body that can attract a large amount of Sun Divine Power. Qin Yun's body did not devour the 9 Sun Divine Power and he can't withstand that much. It is the 9 Sun Divine Spirit that is devouring it. This is the first time Qin Yun knows that the 9 Sun Divine Spirit is so thirsty for energy, as if it has been hungry for a long time. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, the 9 Sun Divine Spirit might evolve. It would be great if it could evolve into some special ability, just like the Sun Soul. After Qin Yun heard this, he secretly looked forward to it. The 9 Sun Divine Spirit is formed from 9 Sun Souls. The Sun Soul can transform into divine weapons or some powerful beasts. And the Divine Spirit should also have some ability or something. Now that the 9 Sun Divine Spirit has absorbed 9 kinds of Sun Divine Power, it must be replenishing itself. Senior, what are you doing? Qin Yun asked. I'm here to eat something. If you can't eat, I'll help you eat. Yun Long chuckled. Senior Yun Long, you can't eat for free. I got this for you. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, You greedy brat, You already have so many good things in your hands, why are you still thinking of fishing? Yun Long scolded with a smile. Of course, the more good things there are, the better. Even if I don't need it, I'll still be very happy to collect it. Qin Yun said with a smile. Senior Yun Long, this Cloud Dragon mountain range is a sun-sacred land. Other than the heaven-burying mausoleum, is there any other good place? No. Yun Long immediately replied. When Qin Yun saw Yun Long reply so decisively, he knew that the Cloud Dragon mountain range must be hiding something. Kid, just absorb this energy in peace. Yun Long knew that Qin Yun is not someone who is easy to deal with. His answer just now had already exposed something. Alright. Qin Yun did not pursue Yun Long further. However, he secretly remembered this matter. In the future, when he was about to leave the Cloud Dragon mountain range, he would go find Yun Long and ask him about it. Just as Qin Yun and Yun Long were absorbing the condensed 9 Sun Divine Power, a black shadow appeared in the distance. Qin Yun is in the center of the whirlpool of 9-colored light. He can't see the huge black shadow, but he can feel a fluctuation approaching. What's coming? Qin Yun asked. Chapter 1945. The Flying Ling Tian Flying City was very big. Although Qin Yun could not see it, he could feel from the Qi wave that it was bigger than the Heaven Creation City. Inside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, Yang Shi looked at the huge black shadow in the distance and said worriedly, "What exactly is the Ling Tian Flying City doing here?" "I'll go talk to them," Princess Anya said. Yang Shi nodded and let her go. Princess Anya floated in the air, blocking in front of the Ling Tian Flying City. The Ling Tian Flying City suddenly stopped. "Heaven Creation Palace Master, why are you blocking our way?" An old man asked coldly from within the city. "My friend is cultivating in front, please don't disturb him," Princess Anya said. "Cultivate? Who is your friend?" For him to be able to draw upon such a large amount of 9 Yang divine power, it means that he has the 9 Yang divine vein in his body. This is an extraordinary fellow, the old man said. I'm not sure about his situation. He's cultivating and I don't want to be disturbed. Your Ling Tian clan is not an ungrateful person, can you give me some face? Since Princess Anya had already said this, it was not good for the Ling Tian clan to continue flying over. The old man's voice replied, "Of course we are not ungrateful people. We will leave immediately." "Oh right, Heaven Creation Palace Master, let me remind you that a large number of people from the Heavenly Law Divine Realm have already entered this buried Heavenland." "Thank you for the reminder." Princess Anya nodded. The huge black Ling Tian Flying City suddenly started to spin, changing its direction and flying away. After the Ling Tian Flying City left, Qin Yun heaved a sigh of relief and said, "This Ling Tian clan is quite reasonable. These fellows can be unreasonable at times. If not for the fact that the Heaven Creation Palace Master is their benefactor, they would not have left so easily." Yun Long said. Princess Anya returned to the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. She and Yang Shi knew that Qin Yun was absorbing a very strong 9 Yang divine power and could not be disturbed. "Qin Yun possesses the 9 Yang divine vein? Is this true?" Princess Anya asked. She did not know that this was actually the power of the 9 Yang divine spirit. Although Yang Shi knew, she did not reveal it to Princess Anya. She only shook her head and said, "I'm not too sure." Although the Ling Tian clan did not interfere, Qin Yun was even more worried. This was because his 9 Yang divine spirit was not full yet. If the heavenly guards of the Heavenly Law Divine Realm came over, he could only stop. "Senior, if the heavenly guards of the Natural Law Divine Realm were to come, would you be able to block them?" Qin Yun asked. "How can I block those heavenly guards? I'm just a cloud, I can't stop them," the Cloud Dragon said. Are you really that weak?" Qin Yun did not believe Yun Long's words. "Really?" Besides, this is the buried heavenland, which belongs to another space. Right now, it is only temporarily overlapping with the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Yunlong said, "If the heavenly guards come, just run." Qin Yun said disdainfully, "Senior Yunlong, you are the supreme ruler of the Cloud Dragon mountain range. How can you be so weak?" Yunlong sighed, "I am that weak. I also want to become stronger. Isn't devouring the 9 yang divine power to become stronger now?" "Alright, you asked me to lure a large number of heavenly guards over. How do you plan on killing them?" asked Qin Yun. "If a large number of heavenly guards died here, the Cloud Dragon mountain range would be able to absorb the energy. In any case, I have a way to kill them, but it will take some time. If the heavenly guards suddenly come, I won't be able to deal with them." Yunlong said, "So don't think too highly of me. Don't expect me to turn the tide." Qin Yun had thought that Yunlong was a godly teammate, but he never expected that he was a pig teammate who ran away when he encountered an enemy. Looks like there's really no other way. Qin Yun only hoped that his 9 yang divine spirit could eat its fill. He really wanted to see what would happen after the 9 yang divine spirit absorbed enough energy. Yunlong said, "Qin Yun, after you angered the natural law divine realm, not only did they send out the great sky armored guard army, they also sent out other powerful things, hee. How powerful is it?" Qin Yun asked hurriedly. "The heavenly guards were all created by the pool of creation and can be considered to be of a lower level. In battle, this kind of guy can die at will. No matter how many people die, the natural law divine realm will not feel any heartache." Yunlong laughed. "Other than the heavenly guards, there are even higher level things in the natural law divine realm." Qin Yun said in shock, "Could it be a large number of sky law divine beasts?" Yunlong chuckled and said, "It's not a sky law divine beast. If there really was a large number of sky law divine beasts, that would be great. Even in the natural law divine realm, there aren't many sky law divine beasts. Those powerful fellows from the natural law divine realm are about to arrive. Why are you still so happy?" Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "I can't be happy at all. The natural law divine realm has sent out some powerful figures this time." Yunlong said, "In the natural law divine realm, they are called heaven men." "Heaven man? What's the difference between them and the heavenly guards?" Qin Yun asked in bewilderment. "Stronger than the heavenly guards, or what?" "They are not heavenly guards from the pool of creation. The heavenly man is much stronger than the heavenly guards in all aspects. The most terrifying thing is still their equipment." Yunlong seemed to be very excited as he laughed excitedly. "If there are more of these heavenly men and they all die in the Cloud Dragon mountain range, then it would be easy for me." Qin Yun cursed in a low voice. This Yunlong was looking forward to the natural law divine realm sending more powerful fellows. It would definitely cause the buried heavenland to become even more chaotic. "Qin Yun, don't worry. With your strength, it won't be a problem for you to deal with a heaven man. The buried heavenland of the Cloud Dragon mountain range has yet to become a saint-level space, so there won't be any sacred heaven man coming here." Yunlong laughed. "Don't be afraid, you are definitely very strong here. If that's the case, then I can rest assured." Qin Yun was also afraid that a large number of sacred transformation realm experts would come over. If he had strong equipment, he wouldn't be able to defeat them. Many of the fellows from the Ling Tian clan have surpassed the 9th stage of the Immortal Emperor realm. After that Ling Tian flying city broke the seal, those who surpassed the cultivation level were all sent to the sacred desolate or divine desolate. "I saw this with my own eyes," Yunlong said. "If you don't believe me, you can ask the Heaven Creation Palace Master." The buried heavenland contained a very large amount of 9 yang divine power. The 9 yang divine power was originally used to deal with the Heaven Creation City, but it was inadvertently grabbed by Qin Yun with the 9 yang divine spirit and then crazily devoured. That was why the current situation happened. Qin Yun was in the nine-colored vortex, and even Yun Long was crazily absorbing the nine-yang divine power. 2 hours had passed. Yun Long suddenly cursed in a low voice, "The fellows from the heavenly law divine realm are here. These fellows are really fast. Senior, weren't you very happy before?" Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "Who the hell knew that they would come so quickly?" Yun Long sighed, "This is a rare opportunity, are we going to waste it like this?" Qin Yun snorted and released the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. The 9 dragon-marked heavenly sabers floated in the surroundings, surrounding the gigantic whirlpool and protecting it as it continued to devour. The 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation absorbs the 9 yang divine power. Its defense must be very strong. Yun Long suddenly laughed. It can hold on for a period of time. The heaven-leaping shuttle also entered the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation and hid. The gigantic 9-colored vortex floated in the air. The beautiful clouds of 9 colors gathered together and the gigantic arms slowly rotated. From the ground, it was both shocking and magnificent. The 9 dragon-marked heavenly sabers were also wrapped up by the 9-colored divine power and turned into 9 huge pillars, protecting the gigantic 9-colored vortex. In the distance, a large group of people suddenly flew over. That group of people were all wearing golden armor and holding golden swords in their hands. When Yang Shiryu saw those people from the heaven-leaping shuttle, she said in a deep voice, "Those fellows? They are wearing heavenly armor and wielding divine universe swords. They look very strong." Lu Shuangji and the others who descended from the upper realms to the heaven-suppressing sect all had divine universe swords in their hand. Lu Shuangji also had a set of heavenly armor, which was worn by Yang Shiryu. Yun Long said somewhat excitedly, "Look carefully at these fellows from the natural law divine realm. The heavenly armors on their bodies are different from the heavenly armor guards." There were more than 1,000 people from the natural law divine realm. At the very front were people with relatively normal physiques, and at the back were those enormous heavenly armor guards. Although the heavenly armor on the 100 or so people at the front was also golden, it looked like a type of golden crystal. Furthermore, there was a faint purplish red flowing under the golden color. Furthermore, only these 100 or so people had divine universe swords in their hands. The other heavenly armor guards didn't have any. "Those guys at the very front are heaven men," Yun Long said. "Just how strong are they?" Yang Shiryu asked. She had fought with the people from the upper realms before and understood the power of the divine universe sword. She believed that if she had the same powerful equipment, defeating these people wouldn't be a problem. "I don't know. In short, they aren't as easy to deal with as the heavenly armor guards." Yun Long snorted. "Those fellows from the Ling Tian clan are nearby, but they haven't appeared." Princess Yi cursed in a low voice. "Those bastards from the Ling Tian clan, on the surface, they are giving me face, but when they see me in trouble, they don't plan to help me. The Ling Tian clan is just like that, but don't mind it too much. It's right for you to let them out. You can let them fight to the death with the heavenly realm of the natural law divine realm." Yun Long chuckled. Among the group of people flying at the very front, someone suddenly threw out a divine universe sword and pierced it towards the gigantic 9-colored vortex. When the divine universe sword struck the barrier released by the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, it exploded with a loud sound and waves of air surged in all directions. The divine universe sword was also sent flying. The 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation was very strong, which made Yun Long and Qin Yun feel a lot more at ease. At the very least, they could continue absorbing the 9 yang divine power in peace. 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation? Qin Yun, you really do have a very strong 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation in your hands. Someone shouted. The divine cosmos evil dragon was originally from the heavenly law divine realm. The divine cosmos evil dragon had devoured the immortal desolate great emperor, so it understood Qin Yun very well. As a result, the people of the heavenly law divine realm had a certain understanding of Qin Yun. Chapter 1946. Qin Yun and the heaven-leaping shuttle were at the center of the ball of light in the middle of the nine-colored vortex. The energy there was the strongest, so it was able to hide them very well. The group of people from the heavenly law divine realm only suspected that there was a nine dragons heavenly origin formation. They did not confirm that Qin Yun was here. Especially after they saw Yun Long, they also believed that it was impossible for Yun Long to be with Qin Yun. Because in the eyes of the heavenly law divine realm, Yun Long was on their side. Yun Long, what's going on? This naturally formed barrier is too strong. And that kind of power is very similar to the nine dragons' heavenly origin formation. The middle-aged man in the lead said. The nine dragons' heavenly origin formation is closely related to the power of the nine suns. What I am absorbing right now is the nine yang god power, and it is being released by the buried heavenland. I suspect that there is a very strong nine dragons heavenly origin formation in the buried heavenland. Yun Long said, that's why such a powerful natural barrier was born. The buried heavenland is indeed very mysterious. It stores a large amount of nine yang god power. We suspect that there are nine large divine universe amethysts in the buried heavenland, and they form a nine dragons heavenly origin formation to maintain the operation of the buried heavenland. The man also nodded. Looks like my guess is right. Friends, do you have any clues? Yun Long asked. There are no clues at the moment. Our main target this time is Qin Yun. I just didn't expect that the Ling Tian clan would actually come out. So we also have to destroy the Ling Tian clan. The middle-aged man said. Ling Tian clan? This clan seems to be your strong enemy. Yun Long said in surprise. Yes. These guys can actually break the seal and escape. The heaven-reaching man snorted. All right, let's take this opportunity to completely exterminate the Ling Tian clan. Yun Long laughed. After so many years, your heavenly law divine realm should have found a way to kill the Ling Tian clan. This time, even if we start a war with them, we will still be able to kill them. The man laughed. Our heavenly law divine realm is getting stronger and stronger. We can destroy many things that we were unable to destroy back then. After all, we are the incarnations of the heavenly Tao. Friends, I wish you success, Yun Long said. Yun Long, don't worry. When you completely leave the nine yang heavenly realm and build your own heavenly domain, the heavenly Tao will definitely take care of you. At that time, our heavenly law divine realm will also send a large number of heavenly guards and heaven realm to help you take care of this new world. The man said. I can't thank you enough, Yun Long happily said with a smile. The celestial waved his hand, and then led the team to chase after the remnants of flying heaven cities, aura. After the heavenly guards left, Qin Yun felt completely at ease. Senior Cloud Dragon, they are giving you face, Qin Yun said. They know that I'm not to be trifled with. If they piss me off, those fellows from the natural law divine realm can forget about getting anything from the graveyard of heaven. Yun Long laughed. I can tell that the natural law divine realm really wants to enslave you, Princess Dark Knight said. Well, the hands of the heavenly law divine realm extend to many heavenly regions. They are only unable to do anything in the nine yang heavenly realm, so they can only secretly cause trouble. Yun Long said. Qin Yun said with a smile, Senior Yun Long, is it because the heavenly law divine realm is concerned about your tiny cloud dragon heavenly realm that you are hiding something good here? Of course not. They just think that I have great potential and can develop into a very powerful heavenly domain. That's why they want to interfere. Yun Long immediately denied it with a smile. Qin Yun was very sure that other than the graveyard of heaven, there was something else in the Cloud Dragon mountain range that the heavenly law divine realm was concerned about. Thinking about it carefully, He knew that the Cloud Dragon mountain range was not simple. There must be another reason why the graveyard chose the Cloud Dragon mountain range. This immediately piqued Qin Yun's curiosity. He knew that Yunlong would not say anything. If he wanted to investigate, he didn't know where to start. And the most important thing right now was to enter the main heavenly mausoleum first. Senior Yunlong, is the Cloud Dragon mountain range still expanding? Yang Shiryu, who was inside the heaven-leaping shuttle, asked. Previously, it devoured that ocean. Qin Yun said with a smile, Big Sister Yang, the Cloud Dragon mountain range has already become the Cloud Dragon heavenly domain. It will definitely continue to expand. It can't be considered a heavenly domain. The heavenly domain is a very complicated structure. This fart-sized place of mine can only be considered a small world. Let's call it the Cloud Dragon realm. Yunlong said with a smile, Under the heavenly Tao, there are many existences like me. Really? Why have I never seen it before? Qin Yun said with a frown, In the immortal desolate, there's an inscription world. I wonder if it's similar to this. If we continue to rely on the Nine Suns' heavenly domain, then it can only be considered a desolate domain. The spatial rifts in the Nine Desolate will still need to rely on the Nine Suns' heavenly domain to operate. Yunlong said, And my Cloud Dragon realm will be able to completely break away from the Nine Suns' heavenly domain in the future and operate independently. Princess Enyi said, If you want to be independent, you need to have your own sun and moon. The stars are common. The stars belong to the heavens, which means that no matter what heavenly domain, no matter what world, they are unable to escape from this heavens. The sun and moon are also a type of star. I need to draw a suitable sun and moon from the countless stars. Yunlong said. Qin Yun thought about it carefully and suddenly sighed with emotion. Creating a world is really interesting. It sounds very great, and when the time comes, you will be able to control the operation of this world. It took me a very long time to reach this step today. Yunlong said, If the Cloud Dragon realm is formed, I can rely on the living beings of the Cloud Dragon realm, rely on the Cloud Dragon realm to obtain the power of the heavenly Tao and become even stronger. It sounds really inconceivable, Qin Yun said. If there are many living beings in my Cloud Dragon realm, when these living beings cultivate, they will more or less be able to absorb some heavenly energy. I will be able to extract a bit of it and use it to strengthen myself, the Cloud Dragon said. Then in the Nine Suns' heavenly domain, is there a ruler like you? Qin Yun suddenly asked curiously. The Nine Suns' heavenly domain originally had one, but it disappeared later on. So the Nine Suns' heavenly domain is in a lot of chaos. As for what the situation is, I'm not very clear. Yunlong said, Of course, it's impossible for a huge world like the Nine Suns' heavenly domain to have only one ruler. It should be a large group of people who created the Nine Suns' heavenly domain together and used it to cultivate. Qin Yun thought of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. Back then, they created the Nine Suns' heavenly domain on the basis of the Nine Suns. Yunlong and Qin Yun are absorbing the Nine Sun divine power as if it is endless. They can't finish absorbing it no matter how much they crazily absorb it. Yunlong also knows that Qin Yun has something on him that can crazily devour the Nine Sun divine power. Because with Qin Yun's body, it is impossible for him to contain so much Nine Sun divine power. When will it end? Yang Shiryu asked. I don't know. Don't look at how we are crazily absorbing the Nine Sun divine power. This bit of Nine Sun divine power is nothing to buried Heavenland. Yunlong said, Wait until buried Heavenland realizes that the Nine Sun divine power is being lost, then they will fill the hole. Qin Yun said, So you're saying that I accidentally opened a hole? That's right, you're really lucky. Of course, my luck is also pretty good, I bumped into it. Yunlong said with a smile. The Nine Sun divine power continued to gush out. It was mainly drawn out by the Nine Sun divine spirit. After all, it is the Nine Sun Divine Spirit. A large amount of pure Nine Sun Divine power can easily be drawn out by the Nine Sun Divine Spirit. Time passed in a flash and 4 days passed. Qin Yun suddenly sensed that his Nine Sun Divine Spirit is no longer absorbing. After stopping absorbing the Nine Sun Divine power, the nine-colored whirlpool is no longer spinning. The Nine Sun Divine Spirit stopped drawing out the Nine Sun Divine power, which means that it has absorbed enough. The Nine Sun Divine Spirit on Qin Yun's wrist has already turned into a white nine-pearl bracelet and then hid within Qin Yun's flesh. Qin Yun did not sense any change in the Nine Sun Divine Spirit, but he knew that it is definitely evolving. It stopped. Yunlong also sensed that the Nine Sun Divine power is no longer gushing out. He said with a smile, "Very good, this is an unexpected harvest. I have devoured quite a bit. I'll be leaving first," Qin Yun said and entered the heaven-leaping shuttle. And in the sky there is still a large expanse of nine-colored light. It is the remnant Nine Sun Divine power that Yunlong gathered and devoured. After Qin Yun entered the heaven-leaping shuttle, a pair of huge red eyes suddenly appeared in the blue sky. That pair of eyes were completely red. They looked cold and merciless, filled with might and even carried a very terrifying pressure. Qin Yun looked at the pair of eyes from inside the heaven-leaping shuttle and was immediately scared speechless. Yang Shiryu and Princess Anya were also shocked by the terrifying pressure and tightly held onto Qin Yun's hands. What is this? After Qin Yun recovered from his shock, he cried out, "Did it just appear? Senior Yunlong, did you see it?" Yang Shiryu shouted anxiously. In the blue sky, a pair of red eyes suddenly appeared. Furthermore, it carried an incomparably terrifying pressure. The eyes looked like a human's eyes, but they also looked like a dragon's eyes. Each eye was very big, bigger than the 3 suns combined. The red eyeballs were suffused with a deep purple color. The bloodshot veins in the eyes were like purplish-red lightning flashing. This seems to be the heavenly eye. Yunlong was also stunned for a moment before he shouted in alarm, "Quickly leave the buried heavenland first." Heavenly eye? Why did it appear? Qin Yun was extremely worried that it was caused by his Nine Sun Divine Spirit. "I don't know. In short, let's go," Yunlong shouted. Yang Shiryu immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and began to travel through space. In an instant, the heaven-leaping shuttle left the area where the buried heavenland was located. In the sky above the Cloud Dragon mountain range, the pair of huge purplish-red eyes were still hanging there. As long as one looked up, it would feel as if they were being stared at, causing a great deal of mental pressure. "I can still see it," Qin Yun said with a frown. "What the hell is going on?" Chapter 1947. Yunlong said, "Don't worry, if we were really targeted, we would have died a long time ago. The sudden appearance of the heavenly eye should not be aimed at us." No one knew how strong the heavenly eye in the sky was, but it looked extremely terrifying. It was as if they could be killed at any time under the gaze of the heavenly eye. "It might be a coincidence," Yunlong said with a relieved smile. "The heavenly eye has appeared for so long, but it hasn't made any movements. It shouldn't be aimed at us." Qin Yun was still worried. He was worried that the appearance of the heavenly eye was related to his Nine Sun Divine Spirit. "Really? But why do I feel that it's coming from us?" Qin Yun looked worriedly at the pair of huge eyes that appeared in the blue sky. "This might be because you feel that you have absorbed a large amount of Nine Sun Divine power, so you have a guilty conscience and are worried that you will be targeted," Yunlong said with a smile. "Don't worry, nothing will happen. I'll go ask those fellows from the Heavenly Law Divine Realm." Yunlong suddenly disappeared. Qin Yun let Yang Shiryu control the heaven-leaping shuttle and head towards the heaven-suppressing sect. The Divine Inscription Mountain and the Heaven City have both gone to the heaven-suppressing sect. After a few days, they must have arrived. After the heaven-leaping shuttle passed through space, It was very close to the heaven-suppressing sect. Qin Yun and company looked at the sky from the main control room and could still see the terrifying heavenly eye. Ling Yuner said, "Xiao Yun, the heavenly eye should not be targeting the Nine Sun Divine Spirit. If it really was, it would have already taken action." "Is that so? But why would it appear after the Nine Sun Divine Spirit absorbed a large amount of Nine Sun Divine power?" Qin Yun asked doubtfully. "The Nine Sun Divine Spirit hasn't moved at all. It hasn't evolved yet. It shouldn't have attracted the mysterious heavenly punishment," Ling Yuner said. Just as Qin Yun was worrying, Princess Anya suddenly shouted in alarm, "Look ahead!" Qin Yun looked ahead and saw 3 huge objects floating in the air. 2 of them were Heaven Creation City and Heaven Suppressing Sect, and the other one was Ling Tian Flying City. Ling Tian Flying City was actually here. How did this guy from the Ling Tian clan find the Heaven Suppressing Sect? Qin Yun said. "I thought they would continue to stay in buried Heavenland. I didn't expect them to come looking for Heaven Suppressing Sect and Heaven City." Princess Anyi said, "I'll go take a look. You guys go back to Heaven Suppressing Sect first. Don't come into contact with the people from the Ling Tian clan for now." Princess Anyi left the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and flew towards Ling Tian City. Heaven Creating, Heaven Suppressing, Heaven Ling Tian, they are all together. I wonder if they are related. Qin Yun looked at the 3 huge monsters in front of him. "Xiao Yun, let's return to the Divine Inscription Mountain first," Yang Shiryu said. The Divine Inscription Mountain turned into a garden stone ship, floating in the air. Although it was quite big, compared to the 3 flying cities, it was pitifully small. The Inscription Divine Mountain was near the Heaven Suppressing Gate. Qin Yun controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to go over and said, "There should be a large number of heavenly guards surrounding Heaven Suppression Gate. Yet there aren't any. Could they have all left? Both Heaven Creation City and Ling Tian City have come. They have no choice but to leave. If they fight, they will all die." Yang Shiryu laughed. While flying towards the Divine Inscription Mountain, Qin Yun raised his head and looked at the pair of heavenly eyes in the sky. He could not help but shiver because he felt that the pair of huge eyes were staring at him. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle entered the space inside the Divine Inscription Mountain. It was very lively inside. The Ancient Ox Devil, Fire Qilin, Black Rat Bai Zai and the 3 dragons, as well as Ding Tianchun and his son, were all inside the Divine Inscription Mountain. The Heavenly Lion King also chuckled and bragged to the Ancient Ox Devil and the others. "Sect Master Qin, your territory is really not bad. It's much better than my Oxhead Mountain." When the Ancient Ox Devil saw Qin Yun return, he chuckled and said, "I have no home to return to now. I'll temporarily stay here with you for a period of time." Qin Yun said with a smile, "The territory of the Heaven Suppressing Gate is so big. If you don't go, what's the point of staying in my small place? It's much more interesting." The Ancient Ox Devil said with a smile, "I feel like I'm at home here. Even if you want to chase me away, I won't leave." Qin Yun suddenly said with a stern expression, "Did you all notice that pair of big eyes outside?" Xiao Yuanmei nodded and said, "I saw it. It's a very scary pair of eyes. I wonder if they will disappear after the sky turns dark." "Little demon, do you know the origin of that pair of eyes?" The Heavenly Lion King held a large bowl of wine and asked solemnly. "I don't know." Qin Yun looked at the Ancient Ox Devil and asked, "Old Ox, do you know?" The Ancient Ox Devil and the Heavenly Lion King are both very ancient fellows. They definitely know something. Especially the Ancient Ox Devil. He is a member of the ancient heaven race. "That thing is the heavenly eyes," the Ancient Ox Devil said with a frown. "Sect Master Qin, this pair of heavenly eyes is very scary. It means that heaven is angry." "Big Lion, you are a very ancient beast. How much do you know about the heavenly eyes?" Xiao Yuanmei asked. "The appearance of this pair of eyes indeed represents the wrath of heaven. The heavenly Lion King said with a mysterious expression, "Heaven's wrath is mighty but powerless." Powerless? What does that mean? Xiao Hua asked. It means that there is no heavenly punishment power descending, it's just anger. That's why it's very strange. The ancient ox devil said. Long Yuqing said, "Those eyes look a bit like the eyes of a dragon. What exactly is heaven's body like?" The ancient ox devil shook his head and said, "I also don't know. The heavenly Tao is illusory, but it is closely related to us." Yang Shiyue asked, "Senior Lion King, is the appearance of the heavenly eyes very calm?" "Of course not, the heaven eye has appeared. The appearance of the heavenly eyes means that the power of exceptional heavenly punishment will descend." The heavenly Lion King said, "Legend has it that even the strongest people in the divine desolate and ancient desolate cannot resist this kind of exceptional heavenly punishment and will be turned into ashes." After Qin Yun heard this, he is secretly apprehensive. The appearance of the heavenly eyes is indeed related to the heavenly punishment. He and Xiao Yuemei glanced at each other. There is some worry in their eyes. Xiao Yuemei can help Qin Yun refine inscription spirit. This is a very heaven-defying existence. Qin Yun is also afraid that the heavenly punishment will be too strong and will injure Xiao Yuemei. Therefore, he did not refine inscription spirit again. "Oh, that's right, how do you feel when you see the heavenly eyes?" Qin Yun asked. He wants to know if other people have the same feeling when they see the heavenly eyes. At first, it was quite scary, but after getting used to it, it doesn't feel like it anymore. The ancient ox devil said with a smile, "Sect Master Qin, the heavenly eyes are so black, they give people a very evil feeling, that's why they are a bit scared." Xiao Yuemei said with a smile, "If it's night time, the black heavenly eyes won't be able to see anything, they will blend into the night." Qin Yun is startled because the heavenly eyes he saw are red and the inside of the eyeballs are purplish red. However, the heavenly Lion King and the others saw the heavenly eyes are black. Previously, when he was discussing with Yunlong, Yang Shiyue and Princess Anya, they did not mention the color of the heavenly eyes. Qin Yun saw that Yang Shiyue's expression is very calm and knew that the heavenly eyes she saw are black. "Must the color of the heavenly eyes be black?" Qin Yun asked. "The heavenly eyes are black, there's nothing strange about it." The heavenly Lion King said, "If it were any other color, it would be strange." Qin Yun looked at the huge eyes in the sky again, and felt even more uneasy because the color of the heavenly eyes he saw is different from other people's. "I'll go and rest first." Qin Yun released the floating cloud pagoda and then entered it. Inside the pagoda, he can't see the heavenly eyes, so he feels a lot more at ease. "Yuner, you heard it right? The heavenly eyes they saw are black." Qin Yun is sitting in a corner at the top floor of the floating cloud pagoda. He is very nervous. Although he has experienced many heavenly punishments, he has never felt so terrified and uneasy like now. "Xiao Yun, don't be afraid. If they were really targeting you, they would have already taken action," Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun took out the golden devil horn and said, "I wonder if I can contact the evil god here." He tried for a while. Originally he did not hold much hope, but the golden devil horn suddenly had a great reaction. "Great ancestor, how have you been recently?" Evil God asked. "Not bad." Qin Yun is somewhat pleasantly surprised and said, "Guess where I am?" "You are in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range." Evil God said, "Moreover, you even destroyed the 2 Xieyangs of the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. The dark royal race people hate you to the core." Qin Yun said in shock, "They actually know that I am in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range? You are a big celebrity. Everyone is looking forward to you coming to the Divine Wasteland as soon as possible." Evil God laughed. "They said that you are a human-shaped treasure trove. You came to the Divine Wasteland to give them treasures. These guys are really confident. If I were to go to the Divine Wasteland, they would definitely cry and beg me to leave." Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "How is the situation in the divine wasteland right now?" "It's quite chaotic. The imperial clan and the dark royal race are fighting, and then some fellows from the heavenly law divine realm came. They are very, very strong, especially their heavenly armor," Evil God said. "What? There are also people from the heavenly law divine realm in the divine wasteland?" Qin Yun shouted in shock. "What the hell is going on? It's not just the people from the heavenly law divine realm, there's also the heaven suppressing sect and the Ling Tian clan. The people from the Ling Tian clan only appeared in the last few days and caused the people from the heavenly law divine realm to be in a mess. The divine wasteland is extremely lively," Evil God said. "Inside the Ling Tian flying city, there were many sealed Ling Tian clan that could enter the divine wasteland. If they went to the divine wasteland and encountered the heavenly law divine realm, they would naturally attack them." "You seem to be in a good mood," Qin Yun said. "It's pretty good." The Evil God chuckled. "Evil God, do you have any news about the Star God?" Qin Yun asked. "Star God? He has been in seclusion for a long time and hasn't come out yet. If this woman comes out, she will definitely be very strong," the Evil God said. Qin Yun suddenly thought of the heavenly eyes and asked, "Evil God, have you heard of the heavenly eyes?" "Heavenly eyes? The Cloud Dragon mountain range also has a heavenly eye," the Evil God exclaimed. "I thought this thing only appeared in the 9 desolate land." Chapter 1948. Qin Yun is even more puzzled. Why is the heavenly eye he saw purple-red while the others saw black? He felt that it was necessary to ask Xie. The Ling Tian clan and the natural law divine realm definitely knew about the heaven's eye. Qin Yun suddenly suspected that the appearance of the heavenly eye had something to do with the Ling Tian clan. "Great Ancestor, what good things are there in the Cloud Dragon mountain range?" the Evil God asked curiously. "Too many," Qin Yun said, "but it's not easy to get them. For example, I just obtained a Divine Universe Devil Dragon's Dragon Pearl." "Why do you always get such good stuff?" the Evil God said jealously. "Luck," Qin Yun said with a smile. "Goodbye, I'm going to dream. I hope I can be as lucky as you in my dreams." The Evil God cut off the connection because he was greatly agitated. Qin Yun felt that the pair of heavenly eyes might have appeared in the 9 desolate. It didn't seem to be directed at him, but he was the only one who could see that the celestial eyes were purple-red, while the others could only see black. Qin Yun walked out of the floating cloud pagoda and the people outside dispersed. Xiao Hua said that the ancient ox demon and the others brought the heavenly lion king to Heaven Creation City for a stroll. As for Xiao Yuemei and Long Yuqing, they asked Yang Shiyue to give them pointers on some martial arts and cultivation technique. Shimen Qinglian also joined in the fun. Qin Yun left the Divine Inscription Mountain alone. When he arrived outside, the sky was dark and it was almost dark. At this moment, the 3 giant cities were all glowing. Both the heaven-creating city and the heaven-suppressing gate were shining with golden light. Ling Tian City, which was completely black, flashed with a white light illuminating the city. Qin Yun flew towards Heaven Suppression Gate. He wanted to find Xie. Xie and the others are cultivating in the heaven-suppressing sect's sacred land. That kind of cultivation can increase their strength, especially in the aspect of physical body. Qin Yun suspected that it was related to the divine universe purple gas. The elders of the heaven-suppressing sect were very polite to Qin Yun. After learning that Qin Yun had entered the heaven-suppressing gate, Elder Pang immediately came out to welcome him. "Elder Pang, I want to go to your sacred land. Can I go in?" asked Qin Yun. Of course. I'll take you there right away." Elder Pang smiled. "Sect leader Qin, please." Qin Yun killed the red giant demon and the group of people from the upper realms. While he displayed his formidable strength, he also saved the heaven-suppressing sect. Therefore, the entire heaven-suppressing sect revered him. By the way, did you contact the people from the higher realm after I killed them? Asked Qin Yun. Never. The people sent by the upper realm have disappointed us too much. They don't respect us at all. Elder Pang said, We do not plan to contact the upper realm. Once the heaven-burying tomb matter is over, we will think of a way to enter the sacred desolate. The people from the upper realm did not treat the members of the heavenly suppression sect as human beings at all. After all, Elder Pang and the others had been taking care of the heavenly suppression gate for many years, but people from the upper realm could humiliate them as they pleased. Elder Pang, that pair of heavenly eyes. Qin Yun looked at the sky. The sky was already dark, but Qin Yun could still see a pair of huge heavenly eyes emitting purplish-red light. Just like during the day, the heavenly eyes are still releasing a very strong pressure, causing Qin Yun to feel terrified and uneasy. Elder Pang smiled. It's dark now. I can't see anything. In other people's eyes, the heavenly eyes can't see anything at night. But Qin Yun is different. Only he can see that the heavenly eyes are purplish-red. Moreover, they are shining at night. The heavenly eyes also appeared in the divine desolate. What's going on? Qin Yun asked. According to ancient records, the appearance of the heavenly eyes is accompanied by the descent of very strong heavenly punishment power. Then it quickly disappears. But this time it has appeared for a very long time. The heavenly eyes have remained the same. I don't know what's going on, Elder Pang said. Qin Yun followed Elder Pang and flew towards a very large mountain in the heaven-suppressing sect. This is the heaven-suppressing sect's holy land. There is a very large stone door on the mountain. After Elder Pang brought Qin Yun over, he opened the stone door and said, Go in and walk straight, you will see young Miss Xie. Many thanks, Elder Pang. Qin Yun nodded and walked in. The door also closed automatically. Qin Yun quickly walked through a pitch-black passage. The end of the passage is emitting a weak white light. Qin Yun arrived at the end of the passage and saw a curtain flickering with white light. He cannot see through the curtain and cannot see what is inside. Why can't I go in? Qin Yun carefully looked and discovered that it is a very strong barrier. Qin Yun lightly yelled from outside, Sister Kiru, I have something to talk to you about. After he lightly yelled a few times, a beautiful and gentle woman suddenly walked out. She is wearing thick clothes, her wet long hair is overflowing with threads of white light, it is as if she just came out of water. Xiao Yun, why are you here? Xie Qiru looked behind Qin Yun and said with gentle smile, Sure Yue did not come. She guided Yume and Yu Qing in cultivation. Qin Yun stroked Xie Qiru's wet long hair and asked, Are you two cultivating inside? And they are all soaking in water. It is not convenient for you to go in. Xie Qiru said with gentle smile, Yuelon, Xiao Ling and Shu Yan don't mind but Xianqin can't. Even if I don't mind, I won't go in. Qin Yun laughed and then gently caressed Xie Qiru's gentle and beautiful face. If you have something to say it here. Xie Qiru said. Qin Yun told Xie Qiru about the appearance of buried Heavenland, Ling Tian Clan and Divine Universe Devil Dragon's Dragon Pearl, as well as the heavenly eyes. While listening, Xie Qiru slightly creased her shapely eyebrows. Apparently she found these matters unexpected. The heavenly eyes actually appeared so early. Xie Qiru is very concerned about this matter. Her expression is somewhat worried. Sister Qiru, what is the color of the heavenly eyes? Qin Yun asked. Black, gold, purplish red. Most people can only see black, very few people can see golden. Very, very few people see a purple-red color. Xie Qiru said. In my memory, I once saw a golden color. Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration and said, Sister Qiru, you really know a lot, as expected of my sister Qiru. He suddenly can't help but embrace this beautiful woman who is as gentle as water and kissed her forehead. Xie Qiru angrily laughed, her soft lily-white hand gently caressed Qin Yun's cheek and said, Xiao Yun, you must have seen purplish red. Sister Kiru, how did you know? And you're still so sure? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Why do you know so much about me? I just know. Xie Kiru mischievously smiled and said, Don't worry, don't be scared by the heavenly eyes. The appearance of the heavenly eyes is a good thing and also a bad thing. If you deal with it well, it's a good thing. If you deal with it badly, it's a bad thing. Qin Yun said, They all say that the appearance of the heavenly eyes is because the heavenly punishment or something is about to appear. And the 9 Sun Divine Spirits suddenly absorbed a lot of 9 Sun Divine power. Qin Yun also mentioned this matter to Xie Kiru earlier. Xiao Yun, the 9 Sun Divine Spirit can evolve. However, this needs to be coordinated with my 9 Yin Divine Spirit. Xie Kiru said, When the time comes, we will make a trip to the buried Heavenland. The 2 of us will cultivate together and let the 9 Sun Divine Spirit and the 9 Yin Divine Spirit evolve together. So that's how it is. Qin Yun looked at his wrist. No one knows what will happen after the evolution, but it will definitely be very strong. Xie Kiru held Qin Yun's hand and said seriously, Xiao Yun, you should be at ease and prepare to deal with the heavenly man of the heavenly law divine realm. Their heavenly armor and divine universe divine weapon are very strong. I have a way to deal with the heavenly armor. It's just that the divine universe divine weapon is a bit more troublesome. Qin Yun said, You still have to pay attention to the Ling Tian clan. These guys are also quite difficult to deal with. Xie Kiru said again. And Qin Yun nodded. All right, I will continue to accompany them in their cultivation, especially little Meiyan and Yuelon. They are at a very critical moment. Only when the 2 of them are strong enough will they be able to unleash the power of the immortal graveyard diagram. Xie Kiru said. All right. Qin Yun kissed Xie Kiru's face. I want to kiss you too. Xie Kiru stood on her tiptoes and kissed Qin Yun's lip. Then, she entered the white light screen with a charming smile and continued to cultivate. Qin Yun's heart is filled with happiness. The fear in his heart towards the heavenly eye also suddenly disappeared. Xiao Yun, it seems that in order to use the immortal graveyard diagram, one needs to have a certain level of strength. Ling Yuner said, Are little Meiyan and Yuelon not strong enough? It should be. Qin Yun hummed a small tune and ran out. After he left the Holy Land, he flew out of the heaven-suppressing sect and returned to the divine inscription mountain. On the way back, he kept looking at the purple-red heavenly eye. Xie Kiru did not tell him what it means to see the purple-red heavenly eye, and he did not ask. Sister Kiru is still the most awesome. Qin Yun said in his heart. She knows so much about the heavenly eye, even Princess Anya doesn't know about it. After Qin Yun flew back to the divine inscription mountain, he saw Xiao Hua healing the ancient ox devil. One of the ancient ox devil's horns is actually broken and his head is bleeding. What's going on? Qin Yun said with frown. Old ox, where are your horns? They were chopped off by someone. The ancient ox devil said with a bitter expression. Sect Master Qin, I fought with the Ling Tian clan and lost miserably. Qin Yun looked at the heavenly Lion King and discovered that his eyes are swollen. Senior Lion King, you were also beaten up? Qin Yun opened his eyes wide and said in slight astonishment. Don't mention it. Those freaks from the Ling Tian clan, they were sealed for so long yet they are still so strong. Heavenly Lion King said, Old ox, your horns should be able to grow back right. I just need to reattach them. It will take a few days to reattach them. The ancient ox devil took out the broken horn. You guys went to challenge the Ling Tian clan? Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration and said, You guys are also very strong, why are you in such a sorry state? The ancient ox devil snorted. We weren't prepared. Those old schemers don't have any integrity at all. Qin Yun looked at He Shu, Bai Zhe and the other inscription beasts. They are not injured and did not participate in the battle. In that case, the Ling Tian clan is still very strong. Qin Yun stroked his chin and said, Then why did they come here? They came to show off. They said that they have been sealed for so many years, but they can still hang us up and beat us up. The ancient ox devil curled his lips and said, We are considered good. Heaven-suppressing sex elderly was beaten until he cried for his father and mother. Heaven creation divine palace's Zhang Shengxian was also beaten until he vomited blood and admitted defeat. Chapter 1949. Qin Yun heard ancient ox devil's words and said with smile, Old ox, don't tell me you are saying this on purpose to provoke me into fighting? He Shu said, Boss, Demon Ox really doesn't want you to go. Even we don't think you can defeat the Ling Tian clan. Boss, you are the sect leader of our inscription gate, our face. You have such a reputation now. If you lose to the people from the Ling Tian clan, your reputation will be gone. Bai Zhe also advised. Listen to us, don't go. The Azure Dragon said, Even if you don't go, they can't do anything. Look, after the Bull Demon Lord was beaten up, they looked down on my heaven ancient race even more. The ancient Bull Demon said unhappily, Shao Qing, do you think that I have embarrassed the heaven old race? The Azure Dragon laughed. Isn't that so? If you weren't so aggressive, they wouldn't have found a chance to beat you up. The Heavenly Lion King said to Qin Yun, Brat, don't challenge the Ling Tian clan. You can't even defeat me, let alone those people from the Ling Tian clan. Qin Yun is very unconvinced in his heart, he said. Senior Lion King, I think it is still possible for me to defeat you. Do you think you can beat me without equipment? The Heavenly Lion King said very confidently, It's true that you're very strong, but that's also because you're lucky to have gotten your hands on quite a lot of good equipment. Qin Yun looked at Ancient Ox Fiend and said with a smile, Old Ox, I didn't rely on equipment to defeat you last time, right? Then, who do you think is stronger, me or Senior Lion King? Well, I think Old Lion is stronger. Old Ox scratched his head and said with a smile, Sect Master Qin, I'm just speaking the truth. I have no intention of looking down on you. Qin Yun was even more curious about the Ling Tian clan's strength. It actually made this group of powerful beasts so afraid. Originally, I didn't intend to go, but after hearing what you said, I have no choice but to go. Qin Yun shook his head and said with a smile, I'll make a trip to Heaven Creation City now. The fellows from Ling Tian clan should still be there, right? Boss, don't go. He Shu hurriedly said, Those guys are really strong. Qin Yun said, I just want to see them, I don't necessarily want to fight them. How about this, you guys come with me to take a look? The Ancient Ox Demon and the Heavenly Lion King quickly shook their heads. Previously in Heaven Creation City, they fought with the Ling Tian clan, but they were defeated. Naturally, they didn't want to go again. They would be laughed at by the Ling Tian clan. Qin Yun looked at He Shu, Bai Zhe and company and said with a smile, Then come with me. The Black Rat, Bai Zhe, and the three dragons hurriedly shook their heads and refused to go. Boss, if you lose, it will definitely be very embarrassing. We don't want to see you lose. The Azure Dragon said. Qin Yun could not help but laugh. Then, he looked at Shimen Dezhuang, Yi Shaosong and company and said, Who's coming with me? I don't have time, I have to refine a weapon for Hercules. Shimen Dezhuang said, Boss, don't worry, you will definitely win. Yi Shaosong said, Headmaster, you can win. Shimen Dezhuang laughed and said, How about this, I'll let Pippi Pig accompany you. Alright. Qin Yun said. Pippi Pig, who has turned into a little pig, is also very cute and jumped into Qin Yun's bosom. Qin Yun left the Divine Inscription Mountain and headed towards Heaven Creation City with Pippi Pig. After Qin Yun left, Ancient Devil Ox said, How about we make a bet here? I bet that Headmaster Qin will lose. Who bet that he will win? I bet that old uncle will win. Shimen Dezhuang walked over and said with mischievous smile, "Grandpa Devil Ox, what do you want to bet with me?" "That depends on what you have." Ancient Devil Ox laughed loudly and said, "Ancient Devil Ox is a gambling addict. Even though he is injured, he did not let go of any opportunity to gamble. It must be known that Ancient Devil Ox is an inscription do master. Therefore, Shimen Dezhuang felt that he could fish out a lot of benefits from Ancient Devil Ox in terms of inscription. Therefore, he gambled, mainly betting on some precious inscription. After Qin Yun entered Heaven Creation City, he immediately headed towards Heaven Creation Mansion. He is now a disciple of Heaven Creation Mansion. Heaven Creation Mansion's Zhang Xingxian is very good to him, so he wants to see Zhang Xingxian first. He just learned from Ancient Devil Ox and others that Zhang Xingxian was also injured by Lingtian clan. Not long after, Qin Yun arrived at Heaven Creation Mansion. It is night time. Heaven Creation Mansion is very quiet. Qin Yun arrived at Zhang Xingxian's large stone house. As soon as he arrived, Zhang Xingxian immediately came to the main hall to meet him. Zhang Xingxian is wearing white clothes, his face is somewhat pale. He looks like a refined and weak scholar. His complexion is not very good, he looks very listless. "Zhang Xingxian, your injuries are not serious, right?" Qin Yun saw that Zhang Xingxian's complexion is not very good. He is very shocked in his heart. Zhang Xingxian is a sacred transformation expert, yet he was injured by Lingtian clan. "Not bad, I will recover after a month of rest." Zhang Xingxian faintly smiled and indicated Qin Yun to sit down. "It seems like your injuries are not on your body." Qin Yun sat down, looked at Zhang Xingxian and said with a frown, "It's mental and soul injuries." Zhang Xingxian nodded his head. "I used inscription do technique to fight with them and neglected my soul and mental defense, so I was injured." Qin Yun asked, "Are Lingtian clan people really that strong?" Zhang Xingxian's expression is solemn. He nodded and said, "Very strong. Palace Mistress can fight them to a draw, but that is because the Lingtian clan people are giving Palace Mistress face, so they did not defeat her. The reason why Lingtian Flying City was able to break free from the seal was because Princess Anyi brought Heaven City to save them. Although the Lingtian clan people are arrogant, they are still very clear about gratitude and grudges." Zhang Xingxian looked at Pippi Pig and said, "Qin Yun, this little pig is an inscription beast, right? I remember that the ancient ox devil brought a few very powerful inscription beasts. They said that they are from the inscription gate. Azure Dragon and the others? They are indeed from my inscription gate." Qin Yun nodded. "Then you came here to challenge the Lingtian clan?" Zhang Xingxian said with a frown. "The people from the Lingtian clan are very strong. Although they won't kill you, their attacks won't be light. I'll take a look at the situation first." Qin Yun stroked Pippi Pig's head and said with a smile, "I'm not that reckless." Zhang Xingxian nodded his head in relief. "If you can't beat them, don't force yourself to challenge them, because even if you win, it's meaningless." "I know. The main reason why Qin Yun came here this time is to see just how strong the Lingtian clan people are. Learning the strength of others can also make oneself stronger." "Qin Yun, what kind of inscription ability does this little pig have?" Zhang Xingxian asked curiously. "It's a very smelly fart. It can be considered a kind of mental attack," Qin Yun said with a smile. "It can cause a very strong mental pollution, it's quite deadly." Zhang Xingxian said with a smile. "It's really amazing. This can be considered a kind of smelly mental attack. It can cause people to have a very stinky hallucination, thus affecting their mind and soul. It can cause a very strong mental influence on people or beasts. Yes, in the natural world, there are also many beasts and insects that release stench to escape being hunted." Qin Yun nodded. "Little pig, I have a very special inscription here that can make you stronger in this aspect. Do you want to learn from me?" Zhang Xingxian said. All right, I'm willing to learn. Pippi Pig immediately agreed. He was very sensitive to danger. He could feel that Zhang Xingxian was not dangerous at all, so he agreed. I'll be able to learn it very quickly. Zhang Xingxian was also curious, so he wanted to see how much Pippi Pig would grow stronger. Qin Yun and Zhang Xingxian chatted for a while before leaving the stone house and heading for Situ Xiao Ai's residence. Situ Xiao Ai was resting in her room at the heaven-creating residence. Qin Yun's arrival immediately alarmed her. Situ Xiao Ai sensed that someone has entered her residence, so she immediately got up and ran out with her weapon. Seeing that it is Qin Yun, she felt relieved. Senior Sister Xiao Ai, I heard from Zhang Xingxian that you will be fighting with the fellows from the Lingtian clan tomorrow. Is that true? Asked Qin Yun. As the goddess of the heaven-creating abode, the people from the Lingtian clan came to challenge the Heaven Creation Palace. I have to accept the challenge, Situ Xiao Ai said as she sheathed the sword in her hand. Although she was resting, she was wearing a white tight-fitting outfit that was ready for battle at any time. Her beauty also added a bit of heroic spirit to her. Are the other heavenly daughters and heavenly sons not going to accept the challenge? Qin Yun asked. They don't dare because the people from the Lingtian clan are indeed too strong. Situ Xiao Ai said. I also don't have any chance of winning tomorrow. Qin Yun said. Don't be afraid, even if you lose, there's still me. Situ Xiao Ai knows that Qin Yun is very strong. Now that he is here, she immediately felt a lot more at ease. She nodded and said, Qin Yun, when you watch the battle tomorrow, try your best to find out how strong the people from the Ling Tian clan are. Find a way to restrain them. I will try my best to stall for time. Situ Xiao Ai's words clearly shows that she does not plan to win. Senior Sister Xiao Ai, why do you hope that I can defeat them? Qin Yun sat on a chair and took out a few divine fruits. He plucked from the divine inscription mountain and gave them to Situ Xiao Ai. Because they said a lot of bad things about you today. Situ Xiao Ai said somewhat angrily, those guys look down on you very much. Qin Yun was startled and said, what did they say about me? Ancient Ox Devil, Heavenly Lion King, and the others did not mention this matter to him. Even Zhang Xingxian did not mention it. Situ Xiao Ai bit her lips and did not immediately tell Qin Yun. Senior Sister Xiao Ai, did they say very unpleasant things? Qin Yun felt that the words of the Ling Tian clan were definitely unpleasant to hear. Qin Yun suddenly understood why Ancient Ox Devil and the others did not want him to challenge the people from the Ling Tian clan. Situ Xiao Ai said, Qin Yun, don't mind what they said. In short, you are very strong. Chapter 1950. Qin Yun immediately realized that the Lingtian clan knew how powerful the Nine Desolate Divine Saber was. Back then, the Lingtian clan and the Nine Sun royal family were definitely powerful clans that existed at the same time. Hence, the Lingtian clan knew that the Nine Sun royal family's Nine Desolate Divine Blade was very powerful. Within the Heaven Creation City, everyone knew that Qin Yun had used his own Divine Universe Metal Stone to exchange for the heavily damaged Nine Desolate Divine Saber. At that time, everyone felt that Qin Yun had suffered a great loss. It was also at that time that he received the nickname Qin Honest. Then what is your father's opinion? Qin Yun asked. Back then, it was Elder Situ who gave him the Nine Desolate Divine Saber. Father said, the Nine Desolate Divine Saber has already been given to you, the heaven-creating Divine Palace cannot take it back. Situ Xiao Ai said, what's going on with this Ling Tian clan? Why do they want that broken blade? We have already told them about the Nine Desolate Divine Blade situation, but they are still very persistent in wanting to obtain it. Qin Yun still does not know how strong the Nine Desolate Divine Saber will be after it is restored. In short, it is definitely not an ordinary item. Senior Sister Xiao Ai, you rest first. I will make a trip to the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. Qin Yun said. All right. Situ Xiaoai nodded. Late at night, Qin Yun headed to the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. Princess and Yi was in the Heaven Creating God Palace. During the day, she had also fought with the people of Ling Tian clan, so she was currently resting in the palace. Qin Yun could freely enter and exit the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. He went directly to the central main hall where Princess Anya was staying. In the entire Heaven Creation Divine Palace, only Qin Yun can walk around the Palace Master's main hall at will. Qin Yun used the soul-chasing talisman to find Princess Anya. The main hall in the middle was relatively large. It took Qin Yun a lot of time to find where Princess Anya was resting. Princess Anya was in a secret room underground. At that moment, Qin Yun was outside the secret chamber's stone door. Why is she hiding underground? This is not the first time Qin Yun came here. This underground secret stone room is the location of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace's 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. Qin Yun stood outside the stone door and gently knocked on it. Princess, I am Qin Yun. Princess and Yi immediately responded with a surprised voice. Qin Yun, why did you come to me so late? Is there anything important? Yes, Qin Yun said. The stone door suddenly opened on its own, and a wave of energy from the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation surged out. After Qin Yun entered, he saw Princess Anya, dressed in a snow-white dress, floating in the air of the stone room. Princess Anya's cold face was a little haggard, and her breath was very weak. Even her voice lacked momentum. Are you hurt? Qin Yun said in shock. I heard that you fought with the Ling Tian clan during the day and were actually injured so badly. He had heard that Princess and Yi and the powerhouses of the Ling Tian clan had fought to a draw, and it was the powerhouses of the Ling Tian clan who had intentionally let her win. Even in this case, Princess Anya was seriously injured. My strength is inferior to the experts of Ling Tian clan. Princess and Yi faintly sighed, then stood upright in the air and floated to Qin Yun's side. Qin Yun looked at Princess Anya's haggard and beautiful face and suddenly felt the urge to love this haggard beauty. It is mainly because the beauty in front of him has the exact same appearance as Bing Xing. It looks very serious. Qin Yun looked at Princess Anya's tired eyes and felt an inexplicable heartache. He quickly took out a comfortable chair and let Princess Anya sit down. And I underestimated the strength of those guys. After Princess Anya sat down, her voice was soft and powerless. Qin Yun said with a frown, Princess, with your strength, it should be easy for you to recover after being injured for so long. However, your recovery is very slow. Princess Anya sighed and said, I don't know the reason either. My injuries mainly come from my soul. Those Ling Tian clan fellows have been sealed for so long, but not only did their overall strength not weaken, they have also increased by a lot. Soul injury? Zhang Shengxian is also in the same situation. Qin Yun said, however, Zhang Shengxian's injuries are not as serious as yours. Zhang Shengxian admitted defeat early, and I was too stubborn and stubbornly held on until the end. Princess Anya suddenly frowned and covered her head with her lily-white hands. It is obvious that her soul is causing an intense headache. Is the Ling Tian clan proficient in soul attacks? When Qin Yun saw that Princess Anya was enduring the pain, he quickly placed his hand on her forehead and injected his nether moon mental power into her. They are very good in all aspects. Princess Anya felt a lot more comfortable. She took a deep breath and said, The ancient ox devil and the heavenly lion king were injured by their powerful physical strength. As for Zhang Shengxian and Princess Anya, their souls suffered heavy injuries. The heavenly lion king and the ancient ox devil both have very strong physical bodies, but they were defeated in terms of physical strength. Qin Yun said, As for you and Zhang Shengxian, you are both very strong inscription do masters. You are very strong in terms of soul and mental strength. However, you were seriously injured in this aspect. Qin Yun realized that the Ling Tian clan is truly flaunting their formidable strength. They want to tell the big shots of the other factions here that their Ling Tian clan is very strong in all aspects. They are doing this to establish their might. When Princess Anya saw that Qin Yun was about to take his hand away, she quickly grabbed Qin Yun's hand and let him continue caressing her forehead. Because Qin Yun's hand is caressing her head, it makes her feel very comfortable. Is it really unbearable? Qin Yun stared at Princess Anya's beautiful and haggard face and can't help but caress her cheek. Princess Anya did not resist Qin Yun. She nodded slightly and said, "After the battle with the Ling Tian clan, my soul has always been injured, causing my head to feel like it is being pricked by needles. One must know that after Princess Anya and the Heaven Creation Palace Master fused, the souls of the 2-9 Sun Divine Maiden fused, they are very powerful. However, after being injured, they are unable to recover and can't even suppress the pain. Your body is so cold. What's going on? Or are you always like this?" Qin Yun gently caressed her delicate face and felt a very strange coldness. Even though Guanghan Palace's Bing Xing cultivates ice-cold power, her face is very warm and soft to the touch. "I don't know. Princess Anya's current mental state is very poor." Qin Yun promptly held her lily-white hand and released his absolute yang power. More than half of the immortal emperor power within his body has already been transformed into saint power. What he released now can be considered as absolute yang saint power. The absolute yang saint power that was poured in is very warm. After entering Princess Anya's body, her face became slightly rosy. "Let's cultivate together." Qin Yun took out a stool, sat in front of Princess Anya, held her hands and said, "All right." Princess Anya nodded. She has also mastered the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. The main purpose of this cultivation is to help Princess Anya heal her injuries. Sun and Moon Heart Sutra's second level, Divine Fusion Technique, do you know it? Qin Yun asked. Yes. Princess Anya closed her eyes and said in a low voice, "Let's begin." Divine Fusion Technique is a wondrous state of fusion between two people's mind and soul. After cultivating together, Qin Yun suddenly discovered that the condition of Princess Anya's body is very serious. Very quickly, Princess Anya's consciousness arrived at Qin Yun's illusory space. This is a grassy slope filled with beautiful flowers. Qin Yun sat on a small hill with his eyes still closed. He took the opportunity to investigate the condition of Princess Anya's body. And Princess Anya is now much better because the injury to her soul has been alleviated to a certain extent. "Princess, there is a very strong mental power in your body," Qin Yun said in a deep voice. "After the battle with you, the Ling Tian clan left their mental power in your body." "Really? Why didn't I notice it?" Princess Anya asked doubtfully. "That kind of mental power is very strange. It can disguise as your power and flow in your body. This is also the reason why your soul can't recover," Qin Yun said. "I don't know if this is the characteristic of the Ling Tian clan's cultivation technique or if they did it on purpose." Princess Anya looked around and admired Qin Yun's illusory space. She said, "They shouldn't be doing it on purpose. Maybe it's just to intimidate me and show me some strength." "You are their benefactor." Qin Yun shook his head. "It's really not right for them to treat you like this. Maybe it's because I refused to agree to their conditions, so they gave me some color to see." Princess Anya suddenly thought of something and her face gradually turned cold. "What conditions did you refuse to agree to?" Qin Yun asked. "They want the 9 desolate divine saber and want me to get it back from you." Princess Anya said, "I will never agree to this kind of thing." Princess Anya is very clear about the importance of the 9 desolate divine saber. Although she only has incomplete memories, one of her missions is to find the 9 desolate divine saber. What do they want the 9 desolate divine saber for? Qin Yun said, Did you ask them? They said that they want to replace the 9-son royal family and rule over the 3,000 heavenly domain, and the 9 desolate divine saber can make it even easier for them. Princess Anya snorted. These guys, instead of fighting against the heavenly law divine realm, they actually came to show off their strength to us. You don't regret letting them out, do you? Qin Yun said with a smile. I regret it very much. How could I do such a stupid thing? Princess Anya blamed herself and said, They will definitely go find you. Qin Yun said, I'm not afraid of them. I'll help you heal your injuries first. Alright. Princess Anya nodded, her face revealed a gentle and moving smile and said, Qin Yun, if it wasn't for you this time, I really wouldn't have known about my injuries. Qin Yun used his Nether Sun mental power to devour the very special mental power of the Lingtian clan people. After devouring, Princess Anya could heal her injuries on her own. Princess, Yueme and Yuelan are both one of the 9 Sun Divine Maiden. Qin Yun said with a smile, You didn't expect this, did you? How is this possible? Princess Anya is very shocked. Yuelan, is she really the 9 Sun Divine Maiden? Chapter 1951. This is what Siekiru said. When Qin Yun learned of it, he was also very surprised. All the 9 Sun Divine Maidens are here. Most of them are in the Guanghan Palace. Qin Yun said again. Well, it seems that I have to go to the Moon Palace in the future. Princess Anya said, Of course, the most important thing now is to find the main mausoleum. Qin Yun said, Indeed, wait patiently, very soon we will have a way to find the main heavenly cemetery. Qin Yun, the people from Lingtian clan are too strong. I can't suppress them. I regret letting them out. Princess Anya bit her lip and said, And now they are all eyeing you, wanting to obtain the Divine Universe Amethyst and 9 Desolation Divine Saber in your hands. I hurt you. Princess Dark Knight blamed herself deeply for this. Don't be afraid. I have so many good things, so I naturally have the ability to protect them. Qin Yun smiled and said, Princess, it's not a bad thing for you to let them out. With their strength, they can give the heavenly man of the natural law divine realm quite a bit of pressure. Although Lingtian clan is quite arrogant, they are especially cautious when facing the natural law divine realm. When they were in the graveyard of heaven, they did not fight head-on with the heaven realm. Princess Yi said, They came here mainly to avoid the heaven realm. Qin Yun was very surprised and said, They are actually afraid of heaven. The heaven man of the natural law divine realm has not been sealed. Back then, they were able to suppress the Lingtian clan. The Lingtian clan has been sealed for many years, and in terms of resources, they are definitely inferior to the heaven realm. Princess Yi sighed, the current heaven realm has enough power to destroy the Lingtian clan. Qin Yun said, It seems like the heavenly man from back then was not bragging. Back in the buried heavenland, the celestial beings had told Yun Long that they had found a way to completely exterminate the Lingtian clan. The reason the Lingtian clan had come here was definitely because they were wary of the celestials. The people from the Lingtian clan are really funny. Qin Yun shook his head and said with a smile, They clearly want to join us to fight against the celestials, but they can't put down their airs and insist on showing off their strength. Princess Anya snorted and said, They all know that you have a good relationship with Heaven City and Heaven Suppressing Sect, so they don't dare to act recklessly. I am not afraid of them. Qin Yun said with smile. It seems like you are the only one who can defeat the experts of the Lingtian clan. Princess Yi said, You have great potential. With Princess Anya and Qin Yun cultivating together, the injuries to her soul quickly recovered. After the joint practice, Princess Dark Knight's mental state recovered very well, and her body temperature also recovered. Qin Yun, I promised to help you cultivate a powerful sun core, but I never kept my promise. Princess Anya said. It's all right, we don't have time during this period of time. Qin Yun said with a smile. Also, I said I would promise you one thing. You can ask me for something. If I can do it, I will definitely do it. Princess Anya said. I haven't thought of it yet. Qin Yun said with smile. All right, I will return to Heaven Creation Mansion. At noon, senior sister Xiao Ai will fight with the Ling Tian clan. If she loses, I will have to fight. When Qin Yun turned to leave, his hand was suddenly grabbed by Princess Anya. Anything else? Asked Qin Yun. If you fight with the Ling Tian clan, you might lose. Princess Anya gently bit her lips and said in a low voice, I will help you cultivate a stronger sun core. Is there enough time? Qin Yun said. There are still several hours until noon. It should be enough. Princess Anya slightly lowered her head, not daring to look directly at Qin Yun. Her jade-like face is slightly red and she whispered softly, When cultivating, you have to lie down, close your eyes and take off your clothes. Qin Yun is secretly alarmed. The usually cold and arrogant Princess Anya and the Heaven Creation Palace Master is now in such a shy state. It immediately gave Qin Yun a bad premonition. Forget it. Qin Yun knows that although the beauty in front of him has the same face as Bingxing, she is not Bingxing. He will not think that their relationship can go further just because Princess Anya and Bingxing look the same. Furthermore, he and Princess Anya have a deep entanglement. The two of them temporarily lost their memories, but there is an unknown hatred. Qin Yun wanted to shake off Princess Anya's hand, but she grabbed him even tighter. I am helping you cultivate the sun core, and you are still not willing, are you? Princess Anya is very angry. She stamped her feet and pushed Qin Yun to the ground in a few moments. Big sister princess, can you help me cultivate in a normal way? Qin Yun knew that something bad would happen. You are going to fight with the Ling Tian clan. I must use the fastest way to help you cultivate the powerful sun core. Princess Anya sat on Qin Yun's abdomen. The charming beauty who was full of shyness just a moment ago became so violent and barbaric in the blink of an eye. Qin Yun felt that this is very normal. After all, this is the aura of Princess Anya, who has commanded the Heaven Creation Divine Palace for many years. Close your eyes. Princess Anya shouted in a commanding tone. Qin Yun did not close his eyes but struggled. When he was feeling very depressed, Ling Yun actually cheered crazily, as if she is celebrating the new year. Just as Qin Yun was struggling, Princess Anya suddenly hugged Qin Yun tightly, not letting him run away. The two of them rolled on the ground. Qin Yun shouted and Princess Anya cursed in a low voice. After fighting with each other for a while, they seemed to be tired and then hugged each other. Princess Anya hugged Qin Yun, and the two of them entered a very wonderful state. Qin Yun only felt that he seemed to have merged with Princess Anya and could clearly feel each other's heartbeat. Qin Yun fell into a trance, as if he was soaking in a warm and comfortable spring. What made him feel most incredible was that Princess Anya's heart seemed to be fused with his. He could feel that Princess Anya's heart was like a blazing sun, very hot, brave and domineering, but also with a kind of wild tenderness. In short, Qin Yun did not know why, in a daze, he fell asleep. When he woke up, he was lying in the middle of this underground palace, surrounded by 9 big pearls. He was still in the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. Awake? Still in time, Xiao Ai should be fighting with the Ling Tian clan. Princess Anya stood next to him, wearing a black robe and a white mask, her hands crossed over her chest, and said coldly, "What's wrong with my sun core?" Qin Yun asked. "You can feel it yourself," Princess Anya said. "You have a strong enough sun core, you can put the sun-suppressing divine arrow into the heart. In battle, you don't need to release the sun-suppressing divine arrow, and you can also use a part of the sun-suppressing divine arrow's ability." Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow has the ability of 10,000 devour, which is a very powerful ability. Thank you, Princess, Qin Yun said with a smile. Humph, weren't you unwilling before? Princess Anya coldly snorted and said, You have taken advantage of me. You are not allowed to talk about what happened before. You must not tell Shuriwe and Yuelon. Qin Yun felt a little depressed because he felt that he was the one who was taken advantage of. Also, he fell into a daze and didn't know what happened at that time. Let's go to the Heaven Creation Mansion, Princess Anya said and walked to the door. Her voice became very cold. Qin Yun suddenly felt that Princess Anya and Bing Xing are a bit similar. Qin Yun followed behind Princess Anya and asked Ling Yun'er inside the illusory space. Great beauty Yun'er, I seem to have fallen into a coma. What happened during that time? Nothing, she just entered a very strange joint cultivation state with you. It should be a kind of sun and moon heart sutra. Ling Yun'er said, It might be a small part of the third level of sun and moon heart sutra. A third level? Qin Yun is very surprised. You just kissed each other, nothing else. Ling Yun'er said with incomparable disappointment. Really? Qin Yun followed Princess Anya and arrived at the Heaven Creation Mansion. There is a large battle stage in the middle of the Heaven Creation Mansion and Situ Xiao Ai is on the stage. The people of Ling Tian clan have already arrived, but they did not go on stage. The time for battle is not up yet, they did not go on stage. The arrival of Qin Yun and Princess Anya caused no small sensation. Although the battle is taking place in the Heaven Creation Mansion, people outside can come in and watch the battle. The people of Heaven Creation City are very familiar with Qin Yun. Especially the people of Dragon Race, Imperial Clan, Immortal Desolate Holy Palace and Nether Sect. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor, Red Sun Dragon Mother, Immortal Desolate Holy Master and Heartless Immortal Venerable, these kinds of experts are all here. Qin Yun's appearance here means that he will most likely fight with the people of Ling Tian clan. After Qin Yun arrived, he first greeted the seniors and then paid attention to the people of Ling Tian clan. The people of Ling Tian clan are all wearing animal skin clothes and leather boot. Their hair is disheveled and draped over their shoulders. They are dressed like primitive hunters. This is the people of Ling Tian clan. They are not wearing luxurious armor or anything. Although they are slovenly, it highlights their innate arrogance and unruly nature. Is this sect Master Qin? A middle-aged man of Ling Tian clan walked towards Qin Yun. Although there is a smile on his face, his laughter is filled with contempt. Yes, you are. I am an elder of Ling Tian clan, Ling Tatian. The middle-aged man laughed loudly. He has a fierce square face, eyes as big as a cow and a full beard. When he laughed, he gave people a very fierce feeling. It's an honor to meet you, Qin Yun politely said with smile. At this time, a young man walked towards Qin Yun and circled around him a few times. Moreover, he is constantly sniffing Qin Yun's body like a dog. Seeing this, everyone felt that this person has a problem. It is very impolite to sniff other people's body like a dog. Brother, are you all right? Qin Yun is also puzzled and asked. Sect Master Qin, why do you have the body fragrance of Heaven Creation Palace Master? Moreover, it is very strong. It seems like the rumor is true, you are indeed the boy toy of Heaven Creation Palace Master. The man said with smile. I am even more certain of this now. Chapter 1952. Princess Anya is very angry after being accused of having a pet boy. Ling Tatian sensed Princess Anya's anger. He immediately pulled the young man back and said angrily, What nonsense are you talking about? Quickly apologize to the Heaven-Creating Palace Master. The young man from Ling Tian clan is also very upright. He curled his lips and said, Clan Elder, didn't you say that? You said that the Heaven-Creating Palace Master is very good to Qin Yun, It must be this kind of relationship. Shut up. Ling Tatian immediately covered the young man's mouth, looked at Princess Anya, and said with smile, Heaven-creating palace master, this guy is just talking nonsense, don't take it to heart. Anyone who knows Qin Yun's strength would not think that Qin Yun is the pet boy of the heaven-creating palace master, because both of them are at the same level. At most they are lovers. Ling Tian clan's attitude towards Qin Yun and the heaven-creating palace master shows that they don't understand Qin Yun's strength, and they look down on him. Why do you think I am the pet boy of the heaven-creating palace master? Qin Yun doesn't care much because this is not the first time he encountered this kind of thing. Qin Yun thought of another reason, so he asked out of curiosity. 9 Desolate Divine Saber is a peerless divine saber. You used a broken divine universe golden stone to exchange for it. If not for the heaven-creating palace master's love for you, how could she agree? The young man from Ling Tian clan said loudly. This is more or less what Qin Yun guessed. In the eyes of Ling Tian clan, 9 Desolate Divine Saber is indeed very powerful and incomparably precious. Elder Situ is also here. He was the one who proposed to exchange 9 Desolate Divine Saber with Qin Yun. Everyone in Heaven Creation City knows about this matter. During the exchange, they all felt that Qin Yun suffered a great loss. They all thought that Qin Yun was too honest and was fooled by Elder Situ. At that time, Qin Yun was even laughed at as Honest Qin. Everyone in Heaven Creation City knows about this matter. It was not the heaven-creating palace master who proposed to exchange 9 Desolate Divine Saber. Qin Yun looked at Elder Situ and said, Bullshit, 9 Desolate Divine Saber is such a precious thing. If she didn't agree, would she have agreed to exchange it? The young man shouted. Even if 9 Desolate Divine Saber is temporarily damaged, it is still very strong. Qin Yun looked at Elder Situ and asked, Elder, it was you who gave me the 9 Desolate Divine Saber. Does the heaven-creating palace lord know about this? She didn't know. She was in seclusion. Elder Situ said, The 9 Desolate Divine Saber is indeed seriously damaged, and Heaven Creation City needs Divine Universe Golden Stone. Qin Yun looked at the people from Lingtian clan and said, Why do you want the 9 Desolate Divine Saber so much? Isn't that a broken knife? Broken saber? Why don't you give it to us? Ling Tatian smiled. That won't do. I used a very large Divine Universe Golden Stone to exchange for this broken blade. If you want it, just give me a Divine Universe Golden Stone of the same size. Qin Yun said with a smile. How big? Ling Tatian said. I don't believe that you have a big Divine Universe Golden Stone in your hands. Qin Yun said. I don't have any Divine Universe Golden Stone, but I have a Divine Universe Amethyst. The young man from Ling Tian clan shouted. I don't believe you. Take it out for us to see. All right, I will take it out for you to see. Qin Yun can now more or less control the Divine Universe Amethyst. He previously absorbed a large amount of Divine Universe Amethyst to cultivate, plus he obtained the Little Nether Sun. His control over the Divine Universe Amethyst and Divine Universe Golden Stone is becoming stronger and stronger. If it was before, the Divine Universe Golden Stone would have run away after being released. Now that it is under his control, it can't run away. When Qin Yun and Ancient Ox Devil made the bet, he said that he has a Divine Universe Amethyst. Since everyone knows about this, Qin Yun doesn't need to deliberately hide it. He took out a small box, secretly poured his Nether Sun into the Divine Universe Amethyst, and opened the box. After opening the box, there is a thumb-sized purple-red crystal inside. Although this purple-red crystal's aura is not overflowing, it has a very dreadful aura, causing people around to secretly feel fear. Even the people from Lingtian clan cried out in alarm. One had to know that when the Divine Universe Sword was refined from the Divine Universe Goldstone, it had a very powerful aura when it attacked. The Divine Universe Amethyst's aura is even stronger. Looking at the Divine Universe Amethyst, Those 100+ people from Ling Tian clan are all stunned because Qin Yun truly has a divine universe amethyst. Qin Yun immediately put away the divine universe amethyst. He is truly worried that it would be snatched away by these people. I admit that my strength is not very strong, but I am still very rich. So I am absolutely not the toy boy of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace Master. My reputation is not important, but the Heaven Creation Divine Palace Master is different. She is the Palace Master of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace, and she is also a woman. She cares a lot about her reputation, Qin Yun said. Although he said this, everyone feels that his relationship with the Heaven Creation Divine Palace Master is not ordinary. Ling Tatian groaned and said, Qin Yun, 9 Desolate Divine Saber is a peerless and evil weapon. It is an extremely evil weapon, and only the Ling Tian clan has a way to restrain it. If you don't want to die from the backlash of this weapon, it is best to give it up as soon as possible. Qin Yun said with smile. Many thanks for senior's warning, this junior will definitely be more careful. Ling Tian clan youth said with a very scary tone. Do you know how the 9-son royal family was exterminated? It was because of that 9 desolate divine saber. They were killed by that saber. There are many legends about the extermination of the 9-son royal family. Just listen to them. Qin Yun said with smile. This is not a legend. Our Lingtian clan understands the 9-son royal family the best. That saber will really kill you, Ling Tatian said. Qin Yun said with smile. That is my problem. If you really want it, then use a big divine universe golden stone to exchange with me. Forget about big divine universe golden stones. Ling Tian clan doesn't even have small ones. Divine universe golden stones are born inside powerful stars. Back then, the 9-son royal family plundered all the divine universe golden stones in the 3,000 heavenly domains. It is not easy to find one now, Ling Tatian said. Qin Yun is secretly happy because all the divine universe golden stones obtained by the 9-son royal family from the 3,000 heavenly domains are in his hands. Princess and Yi said, Friends of Lingtian clan, your current enemy is the heavenly law divine realm. Ling Tatian said, Heaven Creation Palace Master, you saved our Lingtian clan mainly because you want us to deal with the heavenly law divine realm, right? Don't think too highly of us. We are not necessarily a match for the heavenly law divine realm. We were allies back then, that is why I saved you. As for whether or not you want to deal with the heavenly law divine realm, that is your problem. Princess and Yi looked at Sidu Xiao Ai and said, You have arranged a fight with my Heaven Creation Palace's disciple, can you start now? Ling Xiaofei, you go. Ling Tatian said to the man beside him. That's a woman, send a woman up. I don't want to fight with women, it's boring. Ling Xiaofei curled his lips and said, If I beat her, people will say that I bully women. That makes sense. Ling Tatian nodded his head, then looked at a tall and valiant woman wearing beast skin and said, Ling Xiaochu, you go. Alright. Ling Xiaochu is wearing beast skin clothes, revealing a pair of very long thighs and a few sturdy muscles on her lower abdomen. She seems to be a very valiant and powerful woman, and her appearance is also extremely beautiful. After Ling Xiaochu walked onto the large battle stage, Qin Yun immediately felt a very strange energy fluctuation. What kind of power is that? Qin Yun used Extinction Spirit Eye to look inside Ling Xiaochu's body and discovered that there is a very strong silver energy flowing inside. Her blood has turned into some kind of very strong energy. Qin Yun is extremely alarmed. It seems to be a very strong mental power. The mental power turned into blood and fused into the powerful flesh and bones. During battle, using this kind of power to attack can indeed cause great damage to a person's soul. Xiao Yun, do the blood in their body change when they are fighting? Ling Yuner asked. Qin Yun used Extinction Spirit Eye to look at Ling Tatian and Ling Xiaofei. The energy in their body is hidden and cannot be seen directly. It seems so. This Ling Tian clan should be a strong clan that is very good at fighting. Qin Yun frowned and thought, this kind of guy might be born with a strong mental power. Their inscription Do master must be very strong. Zhang Xingxian lost to the Ling Tian clan in an inscription battle. Strange, their inscription level should be pretty good. Why don't they have good equipment? Look at them, they are all wearing beast skin. Ling Yuner said. Those beast skins have been simply processed. At most they can only resist fire. They don't have any special defensive power. Ling Xiaochu is a woman on the battle stage. She is only wearing simple clothes and wrapping her body. She doesn't need to rely on these beast skins for defense. After the battle stage's barrier opened, Princess Anya shouted, "Begin!" As soon as the battle began, Situ Xiao AI used Heavenly Strong Dao Technique. Heavenly Strong Dao Technique was passed down to her by Heaven Creation Palace Master. It is a very strong defensive Dao technique that can make one's body very sturdy. Ling Xiaochu's expression is indifferent. It is as if she doesn't care about this battle at all. She looks very casual. She just stood on the same spot and looked at Situ Xiao AI lazily. Situ Xiao AI's elegant and beautiful face is now filled with seriousness, making her look somewhat ice-cold. Her high ponytail fluttered along with the aura released from her body. After using Heavenly Strong Dao technique, Situ Xiao AI thought that her opponent would attack. She did not expect that she would not attack. Situ Xiao AI immediately attacked. A transparent sword suddenly appeared in her hand. Looking carefully, the sword is condensed from water. It is releasing a faint golden light. Situ Xiao AI has water martial spirit. Later on, Qin Yun carved Holy Sword Totem on her thigh, allowing her to condense an even stronger origin sword. She waved her sword and stabbed. Sword energy burst out along with water thorns that enveloped Ling Xiaochu's body. Boring! Ling Xiaochu's body suddenly overflowed with a burst of silver energy and formed a protective shield. Chapter 1953. At the same time that Situ Xiao AI was sent flying, Ling Xiaochu's figure chased after her like a bolt of lightning, and her palm landed on Situ Xiao AI's shoulder very quickly. Boom! Situ Xiao AI's shoulder was struck by the palm, and her body flew back and crashed heavily to the ground. How weak! Ling Xiaofei, who was below the fighting ring, shook his head and smiled. You humans have been in the 9 wilderness land for so many years, yet you have not improved at all. Ling Xiaochu looked at Situ Xiao AI, who was lying on the ground, and after yawning, she suddenly sent out another palm strike. After being continuously attacked, Situ Xiao AI's body was in immense pain, but at the same time, she was able to release a very powerful wave of holy energy that flowed through her body, maintaining the heavenly firmament Dao technique's power. Fortunately, she had used the heavenly sturdy Dao technique, otherwise, her body would have long been injured. At the same time that Ling Xiaochu's palm struck down, Situ Xiao AI rolled on the ground, avoiding the ferocious palm. Whoo! The palm landed on the ground, and a silver light burst forth along with a gale, blowing Situ Xiao AI away. Ling Xiaochu did not expect that Situ Xiao AI would actually be able to dodge it. She looked at Situ Xiao AI, who was rolling on the ground, and snorted in contempt before leaping over. When she leaped over, her pair of powerful and slender thighs overflowed with waves of silver light. Anyone could tell that if they were to be trampled by her, they would definitely be severely injured. Situ Xiao AI fiercely flipped and jumped into the air like lightning, avoiding Ling Xiaochu's terrifying stomp. Rumble! Ling Xiaochu leaped over and stepped hard on the ground. With her as the center, the ground swayed with silver light and violent air waves, accompanied by silver lightning whistling out. That kind of power was terrifying just by looking at it. Situ Xiao AI, who was in the air, was shocked. She did not expect the women of the Ling Tian clan to be so ferocious. Ling Xiaochu looked up at Situ Xiao AI, who was in the air, and snorted coldly. "You can only hide?" As she spoke, she spread her arms, and a ball of silver light surged out from her body. It rushed into the sky and turned into a silver dragon. While Sidhu Shao Ai was shocked, she released a large amount of water. She possessed a water martial spirit, and the water she released was also very strong. Ling Xiaochu and the silver dragon were instantly submerged by a large amount of water. Ling Xiaochu, who is in the water, is constantly releasing berserk silver energy, causing the water to splash in all directions. Voila! With Ling Xiaochu's angry shout, the water wrapped around her suddenly scattered, unable to condense together. The dispersed water returned to Sidhu Shao Ai's body and once again condensed into a sword. This time, the sword she condensed was pale gold in color. There was a sword totem on the surface, but inside there were many things that looked like tree fibers. Sidhu Shao Ai had used the divine tree totem. This time, her origin sword was mainly made of the water martial spirit and the sacred sword totem, while the divine tree totem was inside, combining water and the sacred sword totem. In this way, it wouldn't be easily shattered. Ling Xiaochu, hurry up and end the battle. It's been so long, and you still haven't taken care of her. Ling Xiaofei shouted. It wasn't just Ling Xiaofei. The other youths of the Ling Tian clan were all saying that she was too weak. She couldn't even defeat Sidhu Shao Ai after so many moves. Ling Xiaochu was also very angry. After all, she was a young person. She was very concerned about her face. She was not weak in the younger generation of the clan, but now she was being pointed at by many people. She wanted to defeat Sidhu Shao Ai as soon as possible, but she realized that Sidhu Shao Ai wasn't easy to deal with. Sidhu Shao Ai also gradually entered the battle state. Holding a long sword in her hand, she rushed over and executed a gorgeous and powerful sword art in a smooth and flowing manner. On the battle stage, several beautiful figures of Sidhu Shao Ai suddenly appeared. Her sword art and movement technique were both very brilliant, and they were combined to perfection. Her sword art looked like a woman dancing a ribbon. It looked pleasing to the eye, and at the same time, the sword aura that erupted out was shocking. Streaks of sword chi flew out of Sidhu Shao Ai's origin sword like beautiful and dazzling ribbons of light. Sidhu Shao Ai's movement technique was superb. She quickly moved on the battle stage and turned into dozens of figures that surrounded Ling Xiaochu. Then, she continuously shot out countless sword energy. Ling Xiaochu, who was in the middle, felt as if she was being bombarded from all directions. Seeing Sidhu Shao Ai reverse the situation, the people of Heaven Creation City cheered. Because in so many battles, the people of Ling Tian clan had always had the upper hand. Now, there was finally someone who could suppress the people of Ling Tian clan. At the same cultivation level, the people of Ling Tian clan were indeed very powerful. Especially the 9th stage Immortal Emperors. Their saint power was extremely ferocious. That kind of silver energy was very harmful to the soul and mind. Ling Xiaochu, what are you doing? Ling Xiaofei was very anxious and shouted, quickly counterattack, quickly defeat her. Ling Xiaochu, you have been beaten to such a sorry state. This is a complete disgrace to our Ling Tian clan. Another youth of Ling Tian clan shouted. That's right, how strong can the other side be? They actually made you so passive. A large group of young disciples of Ling Tian clan watched anxiously and continuously criticized Ling Xiaochu. This made Ling Xiaochu even more angry. All of you shut up! Ling Xiaochu roared angrily. At the same time, her body surged with a burst of strong silver light. A large amount of sword energy that flew over was instantly swallowed by the strong light. Fall for me! Ling Xiaochu shouted loudly, and a silver energy wave surged out of her body. That silver energy wave surged through the huge and spacious battle stage in the blink of an eye and attacked the barrier of the battle stage. The silver energy wave attacked the barrier of the battle stage and let out a series of thunder-like rumbling sounds. That kind of rumbling sound made people's hearts tremble. Even if Sidhu Shao Ai's movement technique was superb, she was still engulfed by the silver energy wave. She had no choice but to use heavenly strength Tao art to let her body withstand the violent silver energy. Ling Xiaochu saw that Sidhu Shao Ai was unable to continue showing off her beautiful movement technique, so she sneered and rushed over. She arrived in front of Sidhu Shao Ai and punched Sidhu Shao Ai's abdomen. Ling Xiaochu was originally a head taller than Sidhu Shao Ai and her body was also relatively large. This punch was so violent that it looked like she was bullying a little girl. There was a loud bang. Sidhu Shao Ai was sent flying by the punch and her body hit the barrier. Ling Xiaochu gritted her teeth. She really didn't expect that Sidhu Shao Ai, who looked delicate and gentle, would have an incomparably hard abdomen. Sidhu Shao Ai's heavenly strength Tao art is still very powerful. It can make the body very strong. Although it can guarantee that the body will not be seriously injured, it still has to bear a lot of power and the body will still feel pain. When Ling Xiaofei saw Ling Xiaochu's might, he said with a smile, "That's more like it. Wouldn't it be better to be serious from the beginning?" The people of Ling Tian clan are still worried that Ling Xiaochu would lose. After their Ling Tian clan broke the seal, they challenged the various major powers in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, and had never lost. They had to maintain an undefeated record in order to intimidate the other powers. "Admit defeat," Ling Xiaochu said. "You are not my match." Sidhu Shao Ai gritted her teeth and said in a low voice, "I won't admit defeat." Ling Xiaochu said with a frown, "Then I can only beat you until you admit defeat." Her fists suddenly overflowed with silver light. The silver light that she released this time was much stronger than before. When Qin Yun saw this, his eyes widened and he immediately shouted, "Senior sister Shao Ai, pay attention to protecting your mind and soul." When Sidhu Shao Ai heard Qin Yun's reminder, she immediately concentrated her power to protect her soul and mind. Ling Xiaochu also heard Qin Yun's shout and cursed a few times in her heart. She rushed towards Sidhu Shao Ai and shouted, "You can't defend against me!" Ling Xiaochu's attack is ferocious. As she charged forward, the silver energy wave that burst out from her body surged like ocean waves. Just the energy wave that erupted from her charge sent Sidhu Shao Ai flying backward. It also carried a very strong mental attack. In front of Ling Xiaochu, Sidhu Shao Ai was as weak as a child. Ling Xiaochu only relied on her strong aura to suppress her to the point that she couldn't breathe. The aura that erupted from Ling Xiaochu's charge sent Sidhu Shao Ai flying. She was pressed against the barrier and unable to move. After getting close, her fists that were condensed with intense silver light violently smashed onto Sidhu Shao Ai's body. Boom, boom, boom. The fist shadows were like the wind. In an instant, hundreds of punches exploded. Each punch produced a series of explosions, like a series of cannons. Not only Sidhu Shao Ai's body was attacked, her soul and mind were also constantly attacked by a very strange power. Fortunately, she defended in advance and was able to withstand it. Ling Xiaochu's powerful attack, not to mention Sidhu Shao Ai, even many of the men present felt fear. Qin Yun's expression is solemn as he watched Ling Xiaochu attack Sidhu Shao Ai. He knows that Ling Xiaochu is using a very strong mental power. If Sidhu Shao Ai couldn't defend, her mind and soul would be severely injured, just like Princess Dark Knight. Qin Yun used the Extinction Spirit Eye to observe the energy within Ling Xiaochu's body. He discovered that the silver energy has become much fainter. Ling Xiaochu's attack is very violent and explosive, which means that the consumption is very large. The Lingtian clan's bodies are very strong, but they are only 9th stage immortal emperors after all. The amount of energy they can store is also limited. In order to maintain this kind of fierce and berserk attack, they need a lot of energy. After Qin Yun observed, he also discovered the advantage of the Lingtian clan in battle. Their explosive power is very fierce, and they can release the formidable power within their body in a short period of time. If their body had to withstand this kind of high explosive energy, they would definitely suffer some losses. Therefore, they can't maintain fighting for a long time. If they continue to fight, their bodies will be very tired and the consumption will be very large. After Ling Xiaochu beat up Sidu Xiao Ai, she grabbed her and threw her to the ground. She shouted, "Quickly admit defeat!" Sidu Xiao Ai gritted her teeth. Her ice-cold eyes are filled with stubbornness. It is clear that she has no intention of admitting defeat. There is no need for you to continue. Ling Xiaochu saw that Sidu Xiao Ai is not admitting defeat and became even more irritable. Her fists once again surged with intense silver light. She is preparing to beat Sidu Xiao Ai again. Senior sister Xiao Ai used the tree totem. Qin Yun suddenly shouted. Qin Yun carved the divine tree totem on Sidu Xiao Ai's body. When she heard Qin Yun's reminder, she immediately released many tree vines as thick as an arm and tightly wrapped around her body. Chapter 1954. Qin Yun was giving pointers to Sidu Xiao Ai below the battle stage. He seemed to be very familiar with Sidu Xiao Ai, which immediately caused people to discuss in surprise. Everyone knew that Elder Sidu had scammed Qin Yun, but Qin Yun did not seek trouble with Elder Sidu. The main reason was that Sidu Ai and Qin Yun had a good relationship. When Sidu Xiao Ai was fighting, even her father, Elder Sidu, could not give her any pointers. Yet, Qin Yun was able to give her pointers. This made one have to think more. Even Elder Sidu was astonished because he understood his daughter's situation better than Qin Yun. Sidu Xiao Ai wrapped herself in tree vines as if she was hiding in a very hard cocoon. In order to strengthen the defense, Sidu Xiao Ai condensed another layer of tree bark outside the tree vines. The tree bark and the tree vines were all Sidu Xiao Ai's energy, but after passing through the divine tree totem, they could take form. The tree bark formed from the saint power, coupled with the heavenly tenacious Tao technique, made for a very strong defense. Even if she was attacked, she would not feel any pain. Princess Anya said in a low voice, "If you were by my side when I was fighting before, I might have won." Ling Xiaochu was about to explode because she felt that she was really beating a very hard tree trunk. She was unable to break through Sidu Xiao Ai's defense, and she had consumed a lot of her power. "Coward, come out quickly!" Ling Xiaochu shouted. "Why don't you attack me? If you hide inside, how are you going to attack me?" Ling Xiaochu also did not attack, because she knew that her attack was futile and would waste her energy. Senior sister Xiao Ai, combine tree vines and water, trap her. Qin Yun shouted. Sidu Xiao Ai had obtained the Tree of God totem not too long ago. Through the Tree of God totem, her saint energy could transform into a tree. However, she had yet to comprehend how to use it. With Qin Yun giving her pointers from the side, coupled with her rich combat experience, she immediately knew how to use it. Sidu Xiao Ai, who was wrapped in the tree bark, also consumed a lot of energy. This was because her holy power had condensed the tree bark and the tree vines. At the same time, she had to use the heavenly firmament Tao technique. Therefore, she had to end the battle as soon as possible. This was the best way for her. On the battle stage, a large mass of water suddenly appeared and enveloped Ling Xiaochu. Within the water, there were many tree vines and leaves intertwined together. Previously, Ling Xiaochu had shaken the water away. But this time, it was not so easy, because the branches and leaves of the tree vines were intertwined with the water, making the water even more compact and solid. The people of Lingtian clan were all shouting, telling Ling Xiaochu to quickly counterattack. Ling Xiaochu was currently submerged in water, and her voice could not be transmitted at all. Otherwise, she would definitely scold Ling Xiaofei and his group of people who only knew how to shout. Senior sister Xiao Ai, turn yourself into a hedgehog and attack. Qin Yun feels that Situ Xiao AI can win. The tree bark that wrapped around Situ Xiao AI suddenly grew many sharp thorns. They were all very sharp swords. The sacred sword totem could make it easier for Situ Xiao AI to condense a sword with her sacred power. Those swords combined with the heavenly strength Dao technique and became very sturdy. Right now, Situ Xiao AI was like a tree trunk full of sharp swords. Furthermore, she was spinning frantically. Situ Xiao AI rushed towards the water ball made of tree vines and leaves. She was already spinning at high speed, adding the speed of her attack. Her power became even more ferocious. Crash! She broke through the water ball and knocked Ling Xiaochu, who was wrapped in it, out. While Ling Xiaochu was sent flying, her body was also cut by many swords. Her injuries are not light. Sword transform into tree vines, cooperate with the water and bind her. Qin Yun shouted. The tree vines and tree bark that wrapped around Situ Xiao AI have been absorbed back into her body, transformed into formidable sacred power, and condensed into 2 long swords. Sacred Sword Totem and Divine Tree Totem cooperated and transformed into tree vines, as well as a lot of water. Walala! 2 fluttering streams rushed towards Ling Xiaochu and wrapped around her. Admit defeat. Situ Xiao AI lightly shouted. You are seriously injured. If you continue to fight, the one who will lose is you. Ling Xiaochu gritted her teeth and looked at Ling Tatian below the stage. Ling Xiaofei yelled, Admit defeat, my ass! Quickly break free from those broken things. Rush over and beat her face. Ling Tatian let out a long sigh and yelled, Admit defeat! I admit defeat. Ling Xiaochu also knows that if she continues to fight, her chances of winning are not big. She has indeed underestimated Situ Xiao AI. Ling Xiaochu's body is full of sword wounds, many of them are very deep. Situ Xiao AI said, I will heal you. Her water and tree have very strong healing power. Now they are gently wrapping around Ling Xiaochu's body and quickly healing her injuries. Ling Xiaochu feels like she is soaking in a warm hot spring. This kind of comfortable feeling made her let out a low moan. Feeling that her injuries are quickly healing, she turned her head and lightly groaned. Thank you! She is somewhat embarrassed because she was too violent towards Situ Xiao AI before. You are welcome. Situ Xiao AI faintly smiled. Ling Xiaochu looked at Situ Xiao AI. Her pair of beautiful eyes suddenly became somewhat gentle. Situ Xiao AI and Ling Xiaochu walked down from the stage. Ling Xiaofei rushed over and yelled, Ling Xiaochu, you actually lost, moreover you accepted her healing. You have completely lost the face of our Ling Tian clan for millions of years. Shut up! Ling Xiaochu furiously said, If it were you, you would also lose, you would lose even more miserably than me. Bullshit, I can defeat this bitch in 3 moves. Ling Xiaofei is very angry, it is as if he is the one who lost. You idiot, don't use your stinky mouth to curse her. Ling Xiaochu became even more angry, her face is filled with anger. Aya, you are actually speaking up for her. You lost to her, did you forget what your surname is? Ling Xiaofei stomped his feet in anger. Ling Tatian shouted, Enough, don't quarrel. Don't you think you have lost enough face? Ling Xiaofei gritted his teeth, pointed at Qin Yun and yelled, You, get on the stage, I will beat you until you kneel. Everyone knows that it was Qin Yun who gave Situ Xiao AI pointers that allowed her to reverse the situation. Situ Xiao AI said, Wait for me to rest, I will fight you. You can't even beat me, don't even think of beating Xiao Yun. You little girl, just because you defeated Ling Xiaochu, you think you are invincible under the heavens? Ling Xiaofei said with sneer. I am the strongest young man of Ling Tian clan, I can beat you up in 2 moves and you actually want to challenge me. This Ling Xiaofei is truly arrogant but his strength is indeed very strong. Qin Yun also heard that Zhang Xingxian was defeated by him. Xiao AI, don't fight him, this guy is a mad dog. Ling Xiaochu pulled Situ Xiao AI to the side. Everyone is somewhat surprised. After Ling Xiaochu was defeated by Situ Xiao Ai, she did not hate Situ Xiao Ai, instead she became good friends with her. Qin Yun is not surprised because Situ Xiao Ai is indeed a girl who can easily be liked by others. Qin Yun looked at Zhang Xingxian and saw that he is holding Pippi Pig in his arms. His eyes lit up. He said to Ling Xiaofei, "How about this? I will let my friend fight you, how about it?" "Your friend? A man or a woman?" "I'll say it first, I don't fight with women." Ling Xiaofei looked at Qin Yun with an arrogant expression. Qin Yun walked towards Zhang Xingxian and carried Pippi Pig over. He said with a smile, "How about you fight with this little pig? He is a member of my inscription gate and also my friend." When Pippi Pig heard this, it could not help but shiver. Everyone was startled and then burst into laughter. "Qin Yun, I will chop you into pieces and feed you to the pigs." Ling Xiaofei said angrily, "You actually dare to humiliate me, I will kill you." Letting a young genius like Ling Xiaofei fight with a pig, this already made many people laugh incessantly. And from Qin Yun's appearance, it looks like he is serious. Others do not know how powerful Pippi Pig is, but Qin Yun knows. "Boss, I won't fight, I can't beat him." Pippi Pig began to move around in Qin Yun's embrace, wanting to fart and slip away. "Don't be afraid, you can win," Qin Yun said with smile. "If you defeat this guy, you will have something to brag about when we return to the Divine Inscription Mountain." There are many formidable inscription beasts inside the Divine Inscription Mountain. If they are not heavenly rune beasts, then they are sun rune beasts. These are all great mountains that small fries like Pippi Pig can only look up to. If he, Pippi Pig, can defeat a guy from Ling Tian clan, then his position in the Divine Inscription Mountain will become very high. You are serious? Ling Xiaofei is extremely angry. He pointed at Qin Yun and shouted, "You are going too far. You actually want me to fight a pig?" Qin Yun very earnestly said, "Yes, I am serious. If you defeat my friend, I will give you the Divine Universe Evil Dragon's Dragon Pearl. How about it?" Ling Tatian promptly shouted, "Sign soul contract, fight." Qin Yun is actually using Dragon Pearl to tempt Ling Xiaofei into fighting. It is clear that he is very confident in this pig. "Ling Xiaofei, if you can help our Ling Tian clan obtain a Dragon Pearl, I will confer you the title of Ling Tian Great Protector," Ling Tatian said with mischievous laugh in order to appease Ling Xiaofei into fighting. This is a very rare opportunity. Ling Xiaofei's anger dissipated a lot. He coldly groaned and said, "Fine, it is delivered to my door anyways. The reason I am fighting is not because of that Ling Tian Great Protector. It is because I want Ling Tian clan to obtain the Dragon Pearl." "What Ling Tian Great Protector? I don't care about it at all. Defeating a pig to obtain Ling Tian Great Protector will be the weakest. For the benefit of Ling Tian clan, I will reluctantly come out and fight against a pig." Everyone cursed Ling Xiaofei in their hearts. He is obviously very happy in his heart, but his mouth is so hypocritical. Qin Yun secretly sent sound transmission to Pippi Pig, telling him some techniques. After Pippi Pig heard this, he felt very happy in his heart because he feels that his chances of winning are very high. If he wins this battle, he will be able to brag about it for the rest of his life. Pippi Pig jumped out of Qin Yun's embrace, ran towards the battle stage and jumped on it. His appearance is very comical, people cannot help but laugh. "Is this reliable? Don't kill this cute little pig," Situ Xiao Ai said with some worry. Chapter 1955. After Pippi Pig went on stage, he is still somewhat afraid, his body is slightly trembling. And Qin Yun also signed a soul contract with Ling Tatian to make him feel at ease. After Ling Xiaofei jumped onto the stage, he looked at Pippi Pig with an impatient expression and said with sneer, "Little pig, you better admit defeat directly. To be honest, I don't want to beat you up at all. I am the pride of the Ling Tian clan. Beating up a little pig like you is an insult to my image. Fighting with a pig, no matter how you look at it, he will definitely win. If Pippi Pig looked like a ferocious inscription beast, Ling Xiaofei would not be like this. This guy Ling Xiaofei's luck is really good. A young man from the Ling Tian clan said with smile. This is the Dragon Pearl and Ling Tian Great Protector that fell from the sky. Ling Xiaofei can become Ling Tian Great Protector just by defeating this little pig. Isn't this too easy? A middle-aged man said with jealousy. Many old fellows have worked so hard for so long but still failed to become Ling Tian Great Protector. This Ling Xiaofei actually picked up such a big bargain. His life is really good. Many Ling Tian clan people are sighing. They are truly jealous of Ling Xiaofei. It can be seen how high the status of Ling Tian Great Protector is. The barrier around the stage opened. Princess Anya shouted, "Begin!" She also doesn't know why Qin Yun brought Pippi Pig up, but she can see that he is very confident in Pippi Pig. When the battle began, many people secretly shook their heads. They all felt that this battle is simply a farce. Pippi Pig is very unhappy in his heart because Ling Xiaofei is looking down on him, the strongest pig. Pippi Pig's cultivation is not low. In the Divine Inscription Mountain, there are many delicious things that can help his cultivation increase very quickly and his body also become very strong. Admit defeat. Ling Xiaofei immediately rushed over and kicked Pippi Pig. Pippi Pig is now a very small and cute little pig. It looks like it can be kicked away with a single kick. However, after Ling Xiaofei flew over, he actually kicked the air. Pippi Pig's body moved like lightning. It flashed a few times, and it looked like it easily dodged. When everyone saw this, they are all very shocked. Because Pippi Pig's speed is very fast. Many experts present do not believe that they have that kind of speed. Pippi Pig was a fellow that was very afraid of death. Its speed was also innately fast. It had carried Shimen Dazhuang on its back many times to successfully escape. Little thing. Ling Xiaofei cursed in a low voice, and once again rushed towards Pippi Pig. This time, his body released a very strong silver qi wave. This silver power was the same as Ling Xiaochu's before. When Qin Yun saw the silver light, he could determine that Ling Xiaofei had not used a stronger mental attack. Ling Xiaofei rushed towards Pippi Pig. Both of his palms danced in succession, blasting out waves of berserk energy that landed on the ground and enveloped Pippi Pig. In an instant, more than half of the spacious fighting ring was enveloped by the silver mist. That little thing should be half dead by now, right? Ling Xiaofei rubbed his palms and sneered. Dealing with this kind of little thing is as easy as turning over one's hand. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone exclaimed in surprise. Because Pippi Pig suddenly appeared behind Ling Xiaofei, and it was even floating in the air. Ling Xiaofei turned around fiercely, gritted his teeth and cursed in a low voice, "Damn little thing, why are you so difficult to deal with?" As he spoke, an intense silver light burst forth from his body. Ling Xiaofei was about to unleash a very strong spiritual attack. At the same time, Pippi Pig's buttocks suddenly spurted out a burst of energy. Bullshit! This was Pippi Pig's ultimate move. That wave of energy surged out majestically and covered the entire fighting ring. Ling Xiaofei, who was just about to attack, smelled a foul stench. His facial expression immediately changed drastically, and he let out a strange "ah" cry. The power that he had just accumulated in his body also completely dispersed at this moment. It had to be said that Pippi Pig's ultimate move was still very strong. If one didn't defend against it beforehand, they would usually be hit. No one knew what had happened. Because of the barrier, Pippi Pig's attack didn't rush out of the stage. Ling Xiaofei's face was flushed red as he clutched his throat and retched. That kind of stench was not only smelled by the nose, but also deeply felt by the soul. "Fart, there's poison in your fart!" Ling Xiaofei cried out in agony and rolled on the ground. He was currently urging the energy in his entire body to expel that stinky fart. Pippi Pig's buttocks faced Ling Xiaofei and farted again. Ling Xiaofei, who was on the ground, cried out in despair. He was sent flying by a very strong force and crashed into the barrier. Then, his eyes turned white and he foamed at the mouth. Fart to the heavens! Pippi Pig shouted excitedly. Then, it ran over while jolting its buttocks and attacked Ling Xiaofei again at close range. Ling Xiaofei was already half dead, foaming at the mouth and twitching. The people below the stage were all dumbstruck. Even Qin Yun felt incomparably surprised. Pippi Pig's smelly fart was indeed very powerful. I won, I won! Pippi Pig shouted excitedly and jumped up and down. Then, it retracted the remnant smell on the stage. Everyone came back to their senses and burst into an uproar. The people from the Ling Tian clan could not believe what had just happened. The genius of their Ling Tian clan had actually lost to a little pig. Just a moment ago, Ling Xiaofei had mocked and accused Ling Xiaochu of losing to Situ Xiaoai. Now, he had lost to a little pig, and he had lost very badly. Earlier, when Ling Xiaofei was about to release a very strong mental power attack, it was also when his soul and mind were at their most sensitive. Pippi Pig's fart at that time made Ling Xiaofei's soul even more assaulted by that stench. Ling Xiaofei felt that he was attacking a little pig, so he did not defend at all and was defeated by Pippi Pig in a few moves. Princess and Yi counted to 10, but Ling Xiaofei did not get up. She announced that Ling Xiaofei had lost and opened the barrier of the stage to let Pippi Pig down. Ling Xiaofei was carried down like a dead dog. The people of the Ling Tian clan were extremely angry because the genius of their clan had lost to a little pig. This could be said to be the greatest shame in the history of the Ling Tian clan. Ling Tatian checked Ling Xiaofei's condition and said with a frown, "His soul is in a self-sealed state. That's why he fell into a coma. That poison is really powerful. It's not fatal, but it's unbearable. Even his soul is involuntarily sealed. Only in this way can he not continue to be ravaged by that poison." When everyone heard this, they were secretly shocked. That little pig's fart is actually so powerful. After Ling Tatian tormented Ling Xiaofei for a while, he finally woke up the genius. Clan Elder. Did I lose? After Ling Xiaofei woke up, he felt as if he had just had a nightmare. And Ling Tatian nodded. I don't want to live anymore, I want to die, don't stop me. Ling Xiaofei screamed and fainted again. Ling Xiaofei lost miserably. This made the people of Creation Heaven City very happy. The arrogance of the Ling Tian clan has long made the people of Creation Heaven City very unhappy. Now that the Ling Tian clan has lost 2 matches in a row, everyone is very happy. Ling Tatian looked at Qin Yun and said, "Sect Master Qin, you really have some ability." The reason why the Ling Tian clan lost 2 matches in a row is because Qin Yun appeared here. It's just that you think I don't have the ability, Qin Yun said with smile. Clan Elder, do you want to fight with me? I'm too lazy to fight. Ling Tatian said, even if I win, it won't be a glorious victory. After all, I'm a senior. You won't fight even if you win and get the Dragon Balls? Qin Yun said with smile. This is not a question of whether or not I have the Dragon Balls, this is a question of my principles. Ling Xiaofei doesn't fight with women and I don't fight with juniors. Ling Tatian said righteously. Everyone can see that Ling Tatian is terrified. If the clan elder of the Ling Tian clan loses to a junior like Qin Yun, the prestige of the Ling Tian clan will be destroyed. This caused Qin Yun to feel very surprised. He was fully prepared to fight with the people of the Ling Tian clan, but the other party is terrified. With the help of Princess and Yi, he has cultivated a very strong Sun core, but he still hasn't had the time to try it. Qin Yun raised his head and looked at the huge purple-red heavenly eyes in the sky. He can't help but feel alarmed because the heavenly eyes suddenly blinked. Is it an illusion? I feel that the heavenly eyes are blinking at me. Qin Yun said in his heart. It's not an illusion. Ling Yun'er said, what you can see, I can also see. It was indeed a blink just now. At this moment, a group of people suddenly flew over from high up in the sky. That group of people are all wearing golden armor, and many of them are giants that are a few meters tall. It's the heavenly guards and heavenly law divine realm. Many people immediately noticed and let out a burst of shout. These guys. Ling Tatian looked at the group of heavenly men and said with a frown, are they going to start a war with us? Elder Ling, let's prepare to fight. Princess and Yi looked at the heavenly man in the sky and said coldly. The heavenly man and the heavenly armor guard arrived in a mighty manner. Their bodies shone with golden light, and waves of heavenly might penetrated the barrier of Heaven City and enveloped the entire city. It felt as if a ruthless heavenly tribulation was about to descend. The heavenly law divine realm called themselves the incarnation of the heavenly Tao, and the heavenly Tao power they controlled was extremely powerful. Especially the group of heavenly men, the divine universe divine weapons in their hands were the most terrifying. Heaven City, Heaven Suppressing Sect, and Ling Tian City, all of you listen up. From now on, you are not allowed to take half a step into the buried Heavenland. A middle-aged heavenly man shouted. Is the buried Heavenland your family? Why are you not allowing us in? Ling Tatian sneered. From now on, the buried Heavenland belongs to my heavenly law divine realm. If you are not afraid of death, go in and give it a try. The middle-aged man said coldly. Qin Yun felt that there must be some changes in the buried Heavenland, so this group of heavenly men did not want others to go in and destroy it. Pfft, we are not afraid of you dogs. Ling Tatian shouted angrily. Then I'll give you a warning. After the heavenly man finished speaking, a large purple cloud suddenly floated in the sky. Under the purple cloud, Heaven City, Heaven Suppressing Sect, and Ling Tian City suddenly trembled. Heaven's Eye, show your might. The heavenly man shouted. Rumble! 2 blood-red lightning bolts suddenly pierced through the purple cloud and struck the barrier of Heaven City. The blood-red lightning bolts pierced through the barrier and landed in Heaven City, causing a violent shock. Chapter 1956. Now that Heaven City was under attack by the celestial being, Princess Anya had to take action. The palace master of the heaven-creating God Palace was the most powerful person in the heaven-creating city. If she did not make a move, then the other people in the heaven-creating city would be even more afraid of the heaven man. Qin Yun knew that it was impossible for Princess Anya to deal with so many heavenly people, so he had to help. The heartless immortal venerable, the sacred master of the immortal desolate land, and the dragon emperor of the immortal desolate land were currently in the heaven creation city. Seeing that the heaven creation city was attacking, they naturally could not just stand by and watch. Are you all crazy? With your strength, you are no match for that group of celestials. They can use the eye of heaven to deal with you. Ling Tatian shouted. Come back quickly and hide. The attack of the heavenly eye just now made 2 big pits in Heaven City. For the time being, he did not know the situation of casualties. Elder Situ and the others also followed the flying dagger in the air, but they were stopped by Princess Anya, who asked them to stay in Heaven City and evacuate others to hide. The elders of the heaven-creating deity palace were also activating various defensive formations. There were only a few people who went into the sky. They could be considered the top ones here. If they couldn't deal with the heaven realm, then the others would just be throwing their lives away. The people from the Lingtian clan didn't go out, because they knew the strength of those celestials. To be able to cooperate with the Heaven's Eye, this kind of power was very terrifying. When the celestial being in the air saw Princess Anya and the others flying over, he sneered and said, "Are you here to die? Heaven City is protected by the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. Although we can break it, it will take a lot of time. We were just too lazy to attack. Since you came here to die, I have no choice but to accept you. Our heads. Qin Yun and company could fly out from the inside, but once they left, it would be difficult to enter the barrier again. Therefore, it would be very dangerous for them to go out. That was why Ling Tatian had advised Princess and Yi not to get herself killed. It's you bastards who will die. The Dark Knight Princess shouted, her voice full of anger. She was the Nine-Sun Divine Lady, and it was her mission to protect Heaven Creation City. Heaven City was under attack, she must fight. Not long after, they flew out of the enchantment of Heaven City. There were only 20 to 30 celestials in the sky, and more than 200 heavenly armor guards. Previously, Qin Yun and company had seen more than 100 heavenly beings. More than half of them had yet to arrive. It was very likely that he was still in the buried Heavenland. The middle-aged celestial leader's face darkened as soon as he saw Qin Yun's expression. Previously, Qin Yun had caused the natural law divine realm to suffer heavy losses, and he also had the Dragon Pearl and Divine Universe Amethyst in his hands. The heavenly man of the heavenly law divine realm wished for nothing more than to tear Qin Yun to pieces. Qin Yun, you've got guts, the middle-aged celestial shouted. Then, the heavenly armor guards behind him rushed over. The dozens of celestials didn't attack. They thought that the giant heavenly armor guards were enough. Qin Yun took out dozens of armor suppression sacred talisman weapons. Dozens of flying daggers flew out and formed a talisman weapon formation that surrounded the group of heavenly armor guard. Boom! The talisman weapon formation suddenly exploded with a burst of power. After the talisman array formed by the suppression holy talisman weapon exploded, the heavenly armor guard's heavenly armor would lose its effect. At the same time, Princess and Yi, the heartless immortal venerable, the immortal desolate dragon emperor, and the immortal desolate holy master all rushed towards the group of heavenly armor guards. Using the weapons in their hands, they released powerful saint force and slaughtered the group of heavenly armor guard. The heavenly armor guards who had lost their heavenly armor were unable to withstand a single blow from a saint transformation expert like the heartless immortal venerable. Those 20 or so celestials had originally thought that their 200 or so heavenly armor guards would be able to take down Qin Yun and company. However, they never expected that in just an instant, more than half of them would be killed, leaving only a few dozen behind. The people in the Heaven Creation City were all cheering non-stop. The heavenly armor of the heavenly armor guards was extremely strong, causing people to feel deep fear. At this time, after the heavenly armor lost its effect, it was pitifully weak and was easily killed by the immortal desolate dragon emperor and the others. Ling Tatian said in shock, "This Qin Yun, he has something that can suppress the heavenly armor. The talisman weapon he released just now can actually make the heavenly armor temporarily lose its effect." When the 20 or so celestials saw so many heavenly armors die, they were all infuriated. "Kill!" The leader of the heavenly armor guards shouted angrily. "Senior Long, all of you hold on." Qin Yun didn't have many armor suppression sacred talisman weapons in his hands, and those celestials all had very strong heavenly armors. Within the Heaven Creation City, many experts flew out one after another. There were a total of 20 to 30 powerful elders from the Nine-Yang Divine Palace, Divine Inscription Palace and Heaven Creation God Palace. On the side of the Heaven Suppression Sect and Divine Inscription Mountain, many experts also came to support. More than 20 celestials, now they are facing dozens of powerful enemies. But they are all fearless, because they can see that Qin Yun doesn't have any sacred talisman weapons to deal with them. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Heartless Immortal Venerable rushed in front, followed by Ancient Ox Devil and Fire Qilin, these powerful inscription beasts. They want to buy time for Qin Yun. Qin Yun is drawing runes on his hands. He wants to use inscription battle technique to draw a very strong and large rune to suppress the heavenly armors of those celestials. Those celestials all have divine weapons. And Yang Shuriwe and Ancient Ox Devil also have divine universe swords, which they obtained from the upper realms. The divine inscription mountain also turned into Hercules and joined the battle. Xiao Yueme also has some armor suppression sacred talisman weapons inside the divine inscription mountain. She suddenly released them, and after making the heavenly armors lose their effect, she grabbed the celestial and vigorously tore them apart. Crash! A celestial being was torn to pieces in the hands of the giant like Hercules. This caused the people of the Ling Tian clan to feel fear and trepidation. Celestial beings are very strong. The defense and attack power of the heavenly armor and divine weapon are the most terrifying. But now, a celestial being has died so badly. Yang Shuriwe also has the armor suppression sacred talisman weapon that Qin Yun gave her. Coupled with the divine universe sword in her hand, dealing with a celestial being is not a problem. Out of 20 celestials, 5 died in an instant. Those celestials can no longer remain calm. And Qin Yun also quickly drew a set of runes. That set of runes is densely packed, like a very large net. It suddenly fell from the sky. The group of celestials knew that this is the power of the runes suppressing the heavenly armor. They wanted to dodge, but the net-like runes suddenly shot down a large amount of multicolored light. After being illuminated by that multicolored light, the heavenly armor on their bodies suddenly lost its effect. Kill! Qin Yun shouted. Celestial beings without heavenly armor are only slightly stronger in terms of defense. Right now, their most powerful weapons are those divine weapons. However, the people of the Heaven-suppressing sect and the ancient Heaven clan all have divine universe swords in their hands. With the cooperation of the experts of Heaven Creation City, they immediately gained the upper hand and suppressed the group of celestials. Heavenly Eye, show your might. Kill them! The middle-aged man in the lead shouted. 2 violent bolts of lightning suddenly descended. Qin Yun shouted explosively as a black cyclone suddenly appeared around his body. That cyclone had an extremely terrifying suction force. It was the devouring power of the Nether Sun. The 2 lightning bolts from the Heavenly Eye were originally aimed at Princess and Yi and the others, but they suddenly turned and charged towards Qin Yun. Boom boom! The 2 blood-colored bolts of lightning charged towards Qin Yun, causing the place where Qin Yun was to explode with red light. Seeing this scene, the people of the Ling Tian clan all cried out in alarm. The people of Heaven Creation City are extremely worried. Everyone could see that the reason Qin Yun drew the lightning onto his body was so that Senior Immortal Heartless and the others could seize the time to attack the group of Celestials. This damned fellow! Seeing that the situation was not right, the middle-aged man in the lead cursed in a low voice and was about to escape. Qin Yun was wrapped in blood-colored lightning. The violent lightning revolved around his body and condensed into a large ball of lightning. Don't even think about running. Qin Yun controlled the lightning ball and attacked the middle-aged man who was about to escape. Boom! After the middle-aged man was hit, his body was pierced through by a bolt of lightning. Qin Yun used the light transformation sacred pupil to allow himself to charge forward along with the lightning. His 2 fingers that were clasped together were throbbing with blood-colored electric threads. Heaven extinguishing 9 fingers, piercing the heavens. The extremely penetrating and violent energy struck towards the middle-aged man's head and instantly pierced through it. As for the other Celestials, they were all killed by the combined forces of the experts from the other great powers. He had won. The people from Heaven Creation City and Heaven Suppressing Sect were all cheering endlessly. The battle in the air just now was intense and turbulent. It lasted for a short period of time, but it was very shocking. Everyone knew very well that if not for Qin Yun, it would have been impossible for them to win so easily. The ability to suppress the heavenly armor caused the heavenly armor guards and celestials of the heavenly law divine realm to lose their powerful defense. The heavenly man is only SOSO. Qin Yun looked at the remaining fragments in the air and snorted coldly. The group of experts in the air sighed endlessly. Although they could kill the celestials and the great sky armored guards, it was mainly because of Qin Yun and the divine inscription mountain. The celestials were only SOSO, only Qin Yun would dare to say such a thing. The purple clouds in the sky dispersed. Qin Yun looked at the pair of purple-red heavenly eyes. At this moment, he was no longer that afraid. Looks like those fellows have discovered something in the buried heaven land. Princess Anya said, "There's no time to lose. Let's set off for the buried heaven land now." Elderly said, "No problem. However, it's best if we have more sacred talisman tools." Sect Master Qin, how many of those sacred talisman tools are there? The sacred talisman tools need to be refined in conjunction with the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. The Heaven Creation Palace Master and the immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor have the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. I will pass the refining technique to you and let you refine it together. You should be able to refine quite a few very quickly. Qin Yun said. There are many outstanding inscription masters in Heaven Creation City and Heaven Suppressing Sect. We will need a lot of time on our way to the buried Heavenland. Let's refine it on the way, Princess Anya said. Qin Yun nodded. After returning to Heaven City, Qin Yun passed the refining technique to Princess Anya and Zhang Xingxian. Then, he asked them to look for people from the Divine Inscription Palace and the 9-Yang Divine Palace to gather more Saint Inscription Masters. The people of the Ling Tian clan had already returned to their Ling Tian flying city. The Ling Tian clan was indeed very powerful, but their equipment was very poor. Even if they had a very powerful body, they would still be unable to resist the equipment of the heavenly guards. They originally wanted to show off their strength to the Heaven Suppressing Sect and the Heaven City, but in the end, they were the ones who showed off. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.